How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Big Six. Matisse is just sorting out the lighting. Let me move him to where he needs to be. Hit the like button whilst I do that. I've just done that. Make sure you subscribe, people. Notification bell on. Do all of that good stuff. Obviously, the individual channels are there as well. Mine, Steve, SAEED, GRIZZ, Matisse, TOBS. Everything's there. THUGGERY's too. Not quite as active, but we all are active. So I'll go show some love to the individuals as well. How are we all doing? All good? I saw a couple of you yesterday, seeing a couple more of you later this week. Link up for some content. Tobes not too happy, as you saw on the mob or the highlights. Well, you saw it, SAEED, yeah?
Yeah, I seen it, but that was ultimate crashing. Yeah, I mean, crazy.
Mad. I had to be on my toes. I can't lie. He was about to flip out. Bro, I thought he went off to do his match reaction. You know, I thought he went off to do his match reaction and called it a night. Grizz made me laugh though. What did you say? Why you effing the stream? It's too early to swear. So yeah, why are you effing the stream? Because you said F this stream. That I can't lie. That bit was joke still. Yeah. Hey, Steve, are you saying all good?
Yeah, man. Chilling out.
Yeah, come on. We'll find out what Matisse is saying in a sec. People, hope the community is all good and well. There's nearly 2,000 people here, so let's get to nearly 1,000 likes.
Where's School Thuggery anyway? He's lazy, man. He's not done a fucking intro for weeks, man. What's he doing?
Let me see what the last intro was. Mid-February, and it was me.
What content though is that, man? He didn't, you know.
It was
Grizz
me.
not put no match reactions out or anything. Have you done a match reaction, Grizz?
Match reaction?
Have you done anything? Like, have you done like any bits of content?
I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
I like to see Grizz getting his eyes pecked out of magpies and shit and stuff like that.
This is my channel, innit? This is my reactions, innit?
That would have been a good one.
My reaction. Magpies. What was it called? Pecking my eyes out and shit. Yeah.
Remember that film Birds years ago?
Yeah.
Like, classic. The house and they dive on you now. I was expecting this. I'm sure he did me once with I'm sure I got attacked off magpies once on one of his things or something like that.
Probably. Sounds about right. But yeah, listen, we've got a little break after this. So the next show ain't until next week because it's international break. And then it's FA Cup weekend. So even that weekend, it's only City playing. But we'll be here to talk about it same way. So maybe an intro is on the cards still. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe a little delay.
Yeah, you never know, man. You know what I mean? We'll let it marinate.
But the main man's here. The main man's here. And we did get he's confident about this game out of him. It's not too easy to, to get it out of Grizz sometimes in terms of, really putting his chest on the line. But this time I feel he did enough to deflate it, Grizz.
Yeah, of course. Especially with a performance like that. We got outed. And what I mean by that is we got out-battled, out-fought, out-thought, out-fanned, like in terms of the support, out-supported. Everything was out there, man. They dominated. I called it demolition job from start to finish. As far as finals go and two good teams go, that was as one-sided as you can get in a final. In a a final, you can have like periods where one team has a spell, the other team has a spell. From the opening 10 minutes, I could tell, these Geordie lads are absolutely on it. And they dominated us. They bullied us. What's the word Tobes uses sometimes? Ragdoll. Does he use ragdoll?
Yeah, he's used that.
They ragdolled us, man, from start to finish. Joe Linton, you lot saw his performance. Like, he was fist pumping every tackle, foul, pull, push, everything. And that's what you do when you're in a final, when you're in a League Cup final or any final. You have to make sure it means everything to you. And it did. It showed. It meant everything to them. I don't know what it meant to us because I don't know. But from the outset, it looks like they didn't want it as much as the Geordies. Newcastle wanted it and they showed it. Fair play to them. Eddie Howe said afterwards that he didn't show all his hands in the league game and wanted to keep a few secrets tactically. Brother, salute to you then if that's the case, because we didn't have any answers to anything they done or anything, and then we didn't have any answers to anything that they put in front of us. So It was, as far as final performances go, is that my echo? It was an embarrassment. It was embarrassing performance. Didn't enjoy it one single bit. Hated it. Oh, one of those ones where you think, oh man, that was embarrassing. Not often embarrassed by Liverpool Football Club, but that final was embarrassing. Nothing else to say, man. I don't know how I can sort of which angle to come from. You can pick out individuals, you can pick out collective, you can pick out the whole mood of the fans and everything. I wasn't there obviously because I was with you lot, and but everyone that went said there was no mood, there was no vibes. It was Geordie take over. They took over Wembley, and on the pitch they took over as well. They dominated, bullied every single man for man, bullied us. No one player won his due. I think Kwanzaa done okay for a right back. He's not a right back, he's a centre back. And I think Robertson was mildly okay. Apart from that, everyone was a 4 to 5 out of 10, and we have to accept that we got beaten by the better team. And as I said, we got outed in every way, out battled, out tacticked, everything out. So yeah, and obviously on the back of that, people are going to say worried. Why not? Why not worry? That's 2 losses in a row. What's to say that we can't have 3 losses in a row, 4 losses in a row? Form out of the window. No one looks in form. So yeah, these are the questions that we're going to have to hold. We're going to have to hold our licks. We're going to have to hold our medicine for the next 2 weeks because we don't play a game for 16 days. So pundits, media, you man, every man, other man, them, everyone's going to be asking questions and putting pressure. And we have to hold it and accept it that, all right, no problem. Let's see what happens now. So, yeah, man, as far as the final goes, I mean, you guys know my opinion on it. Like, as I said, I just wanted the league. I said it before we got knocked out of all the cups. I said it. So it's not after the Lord Mayor show. But the manner was embarrassing. So it's not that we lost the final. You can lose a final. But that was that performance was, yeah, you lot can just have a field day with that performance and that. Everyone, each to their own. Like, you can pick on any player and I have to hold it. You can pick on any player from McAllister to Virgil to Salah to Diaz to Lucho, where's TOBS? Anyone. You can pick on anyone and everyone has to hold it. So yeah, man, that's all I got to say from my aspect. And obviously you will have questions or grillings or whatever you want to say. And yeah, man, let's go.
I just like to cut in quickly with news that, Matisse might be getting -1 because it's 18 past and his camera's still not on. And lighting was used as the reason. And I don't believe that is good enough reason to be over 10 minutes.
He's taking the piss, man.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Let's get that in there. He's 2 minutes away from it being 2 points, but we'll see. We'll tackle that bridge when we get there. But what do you think it is, GRIZZ? The title race being wrapped. Well, the title being wrapped up. There was no race, but do you think that's taken the win from the sales in terms of that is for you? It was the main one, I guess. For a lot of the players this season.
No, you know what it is? We've lost 2 games in a row, but the mood is totally different from the 2 games. Like PSG wasn't this mood because it wasn't an embarrassing performance. Like PSG was a great game of football and it went to penalties and one team won. This one was embarrassing. So the mood, even though the competition's different, Champions League is Champions League. League Cup is League Cup. But the performance was stinky in this one. That's the difference. So I don't know what it is. It's, there's excuses you can give, but nobody wants to hear excuses. So, but the reason, if you want to ask me or if you want to know my answer, because you asked me, so you obviously want to know my answer. Yeah, it's lack of rotation. He's obviously trusted only 13, 14 players throughout the season, which obviously has enabled him to pretty much wrap up the league, unless you guys think otherwise, which would hear the opinions of others. So he's trusted them and they've run out of legs, man. Newcastle were faster, stronger, tackled ferociously, snide. I love it. It's not like, I love it. Like people moan about their time wasting and their fouling and elbows, and I love it. They done what they needed to do to win that game of football. You could see that was 70 years of hurt, passion, all rolled into one. And they came into town and said, yeah, Liverpool, we're bulldozing you lot. And that's what they done. They bulldozed us. And it was, I'm happy to say, not happy to say, but I admit it was men against boys at times out there. Men against boys. And it's not often I talk about my team like that. You lot know this. I'm very defensive of my team. But there was nothing defensive. I can't defend nothing. It was like watching. Yeah, it was just like watching. Like I'm sure you lot watched it as well. It's like as soon as they scored, you lot must have thought, yeah, that's it. It's a wrap. Liverpool ain't coming back from this.
Yeah,
that's how I felt.
smoked. Yeah,
that's how I felt.
Crazy.
But,
Do you not reckon the warranty's gone out on this slot machine, guys? You know, because since January, man, this slot machine's it's looked like it's jamming right now, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's crazy out here. You know what I mean? Quadruple, treble. You know what I mean? Like, and now just Premier League, in it, man. Yeah. Just Premier League. You know what I mean? A non-competitive Premier League. A Premier League title race that nobody really cares about, to be honest with you. Like, who is really going to care about this season? Like, seriously. Like, this shouldn't be a special season for you lot, man. Like, real talk, man. GRIZZ, you shouldn't be here talking about multiple trophies, man. But, you know, you only go with the one, you know, and listen, it is a good one, to be fair. So I will give you a pat on the back for that one. But, yeah, man, it's just a shame that you talk about men against boys and all of these excuses and all that. But, you know, 2 years ago, we stopped that same team. You know what I mean? And you cuss United all the time. But, yeah, I want to know where certain players were, you know, the big names. I'm sure we'll discuss that in the game. But it's easy to talk about rotation and all of that. But, yeah, at the end of the day, man, you got to win these games, man. It's a big team, big dogs, you say, right? Big dog. You call yourself the big dogs. And this ain't no big dog mentality, man. You know what you do is, yeah, you come in here and you say, oh, don't really care about that. But deep down, I know you were in your bedroom or wherever you were having your cup of tea. You know what I mean? Damn, man. Missing another trophy, man. I know. But you put a little bit of a front on the big six and say, it's all good, man. Just a Premier League. That's a Premier League. So I can't lie, man. This is lovely. This is sensational. And yeah, just like Brendan Rodgers, just like so many other managers winning one trophies and that, they will remember, man. This Liverpool team will be remembered, you know, just like in 2019, you know. So enjoy it, man. Enjoy the parade, you know, alongside there. Where's it, Liverpool? Whereabouts in Liverpool do they go down?
I'm not going to the parade.
You're not going?
I don't think we should have one. It's shit.
You don't think we should have one? Yeah, I agree, actually. I agree. But no, honestly, man, like this idea that we can't cook Liverpool just because they won the Premier League when a lot of their fan base, yeah, we're talking about a special season. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not having it, you know. Like you, man, the slot machine's like it's cracking up a little bit, man. And listen, we'll talk about Arsenal and why they should have done it or not, but reality is the way you lot have crashed out to Plymouth, yeah. PSG, the way they dismantled you lot, let's be honest, that should have been really embarrassing for you lot if it wasn't for Alisson. And then Newcastle here, man, that should have been more than 2-1. Really and truly, Newcastle should have battered you lot. So, yeah, man, like, we're going to talk. It's going to be a long show, you know, Liverpool, you know. Don't think we're just going to skip past Liverpool for like maybe 30 minutes. We need an hour on this, man. We need a nice long hour on Liverpool. You get me? Because, yeah, man. What are you saying, Steve, man? What are you telling him?
But listen, there's not a lot to say, is there? You know, It's been, you know, it was always, to be honest, the way it started and the way it was going, everyone thought Liverpool was going to win multiple trophies.
Yeah.
Me included. I was panicking a bit, thinking, hold on a minute. This could get a bit closer. There could be some sort of unique achievements coming down to Liverpool, etc., etc. But now it's probably just going to be everyone's going to talk about this season and say, do you remember when that season when City fell off? They ain't going to say, do you remember the season when Liverpool won the league? It's going to be, do you remember that season when City fell off? And that's it. If anyone had anything about them, if there was any challenges here or there now, I think they would have won the league. Arsenal must be kicking themselves. You know, we were talking about Slot coming in his first season, winning the Premier League. Pellegrini did it, but he won the double. You know what I mean? Pellegrini came in first season, won the double. He didn't get his flowers. He didn't even get Manager of the Year. They give it Brendan Rodgers, I think, for finishing second. So it is what it is, isn't it? But the Liverpool fans have gone a bit quiet. GRIZZ, he just looks like a shell of a man. I don't know if he's because he's fasting or what, but he's looking very, very, you know, he's looking very, I don't know what that is he's eating. Have you got indigestion? Is that Gaviscon?
I'm having my medicine, man. I'm taking my medicine, bro.
Right, yeah. So it's, but at the end of the day, it's, you know, listen, first thing I've got to say is well done, Newcastle. And, you know, they really deserved it. Big up the Geordies, they took over. And first thing I've got to say, I've got to apologise live on the Big Six to Matty from the Magpie TV, who I told that Eddie Howe would never win a trophy with him. But I don't mind being proven wrong in that aspect, because he's proved me wrong. So I've took that on the chin. I spoke to him yesterday. He was in dreamland. And listen, they deserved it, Newcastle. And seeing the fans coming out the ground, some of the older generation crying and that. I mean, that's what football's about, innit? But listen, we went in a cup final a few years ago against Wigan, and everybody thought we were going to kill them. And Wigan battered us, and won the FA Cup. Deserved it fully. So I've got to respect GRIZZ when he does come out and say they deserved it, because they did. And, you know, and Liverpool players must be kicking themselves, and the fans that paid to watch it, the Liverpool fans went down there, and it just wasn't that Liverpool team they've seen this season. But Newcastle have got the monkey off the back now. You know what I mean? Whether this, you know, breeds more trophies for them, whether they get that winning feeling, they can finally do it, I don't know. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And listen, I'm only trolling when I say about Liverpool. Listen, they've won the league, and they deserve to win the league. The best team in the country always wins the league. You can't fluke a league. So they're going to do it. But you do need to do a parade. But I somehow think Newcastle's parade might outdo your parade. Do you know what I mean?
If it's like Wembley,
it will, because it's gonna be fucking mental on there over there, because they're just like, I think Liverpool's will be big because they didn't have it last time, but I think Newcastle's just gonna be madness, man, over there. But we've got to give them credit. You know, they deserved it, and like you say, when you've got 3 or 4 of your players off the boil, more than that, it's tough. You know what I mean? It's tough, and they just didn't look like. They didn't look like anything, you know what I mean? It just didn't look like Liverpool was there. I think they just didn't fancy it, you know what I mean? And like what GRIZZ says, Joe Linton and that roughing people up. Dan Burn was playing like a man possessed. He was like, there was no way on this planet he was losing a header against anyone that day, anywhere across the park. You know what I mean? So for me, you know, it just got to say well done, Newcastle. And
it was nice. It was nice that Dan Burn scored the winner, or you know, the goal. Local Geordie lad, you know, McAllister.
Great header that was as well.
How McAllister was marking him, that's a different story.
Yeah,
completely.
It
shows
the
scrambled thinking. Like he won 3 headers before that as well. I think that was the 3rd header, and we still didn't do nothing about it. And he like some of your strikers can't shoot from there. Like man hit, like he headed it from there. You know what I mean? It's like insane header. But yeah, they deserve it.
In a cup final, it's everybody's steak night. It's everybody's steak night. The players, and if you've had many a steak night like Liverpool have had, you know what I mean? Sometimes them steak nights aren't quite as, you know, exciting as someone that ain't had one for fucking 50 years. So when they turned up there and thought, you know what, we're having this tonight. This is our chance. My dad's here, my granddad's here, the dog's watching, everyone back home's watching, because they've had all that razzmatazz building up to it. And they've lost a few games and rested a few players. But Liverpool, to them, it's like League Cup final. It's just another final. We've got to get there. And then all of a sudden, they've got there, and Newcastle have just put it on them from the off. And then and with the fans behind them, I think it's just like, fucking hell. It's took us by surprise there.
Do you remember who asked me? I think Turkish or Toby asked me about the experience. We'll have the experience on them. But I think their experience of losing it.
Yeah, it was.
To Man United, I think they use that as motivation. And you know how every new coach has to taste Wembley and the occasion like that. Like Slot admitted he's never been to Wembley before. Never mind as a coach, he hasn't even been to Wembley before. He felt it, bro. Eddie Howe got his team ready and said, remember the pain that you felt when you lost to Man United? Use that. They were like, like David Moyes' Dogs of War. Was it David Moyes who brought that Dogs of War thing out? These lot were twofold, man. And not only Dogs of War, in case people think I'm taking credit away, like they're just roughed and they just battled and they wanted it more. No, they can play. We know Gyökeres and Tonali can play. We know and we know Isak can play, because that might have looked a simple finish, but that was a classy striker's finish. That's why Arsenal won him, Liverpool won him, and probably he would get, he walks into all of our teams. That's why the top clubs won him, because he made that finish look so comfy. You know what I mean? And how many strikers have we seen not make that look comfy? So fair play to them. It wasn't all rough and tough and they just out-battled us. I'm not saying that. I thought they outthought us and outthought us. So fair play to them.
Yeah, they won the duels, man. They won the duels. They won every 50-50. They just kept getting the ball straight into Barnes, direct. Because I thought Gordon would be a big miss, but Barnes was cooking. And I mean, listen, Kwanzaa I think he had an overall good game, Kwanzaa, but I thought he just gave Kwanzaa a nightmare on that side, just getting the ball, whipping it in. But the three in midfield, they're like animals, man. That Joe Linton is an animal, bro. The guy's celebrating every single tackle. Bruno Gyökeres can do both, technical side and the physical side. And Tonali, man, another one that goes under the radar, man. Like that three there bullied you lot. And all they started from was get the ball into midfield, play it long, and win every single lost cause, any lost back, go win it. And
I think they've done it to all of us.
Couldn't deal with it. They couldn't deal with it.
I think they've done it to all of us this season, innit? Have they beaten all of us?
Yeah, they've dominated us at home.
They've beaten us. They beat Man City, Arsenal. Sorry, on the way to the League Cup. Arsenal, Liverpool, and who's the other team they scout?
They beat
Man City. They beat Man City.
So Man City, Arsenal, and Liverpool to win this title.
I think so.
And Chelsea as well.
And Chelsea. Or was actually no, that was last season, not this season.
Yeah, last season, yeah.
Yeah. So they
Chelsea as well.
They've got
Arsenal and Liverpool. It's still a strong run. It's not like Ten Hag.
They beat Chelsea too. They beat Chelsea 2-0.
Yeah, Chelsea too as well. So
they put it on all of us. But to put it in the final is obviously the pinnacle. And Liverpool were favourites. I said to you, look, I wasn't overly confident. I said, no, we should be confident. Sorry, we should win it, and I should be confident. But you have to be up for it. You have to match the energy. You have to match everything. We didn't match it. We didn't match anything. Never mind everything. Anything.
I think
just
genuine concern, Grizz, genuine concern that if Van Dijk and Salah do leave, then you're not the same team. And I don't think you can get people in that good straight away. So I think if you take them two out the team now and play Liverpool, I just think they're an average size. I don't think there's anyone else there. When I look at them,
you can't deny that. You can't deny it. You take out Salah and Virgil van Dijk, you can't deny that. And
this is what worries me about the way. I don't know whether this. I think this slot surprised even the players, because I think Virgil and that are probably thinking they've got the easy way out this season. They have a sort of semi-decent season and then they leave. If they win the league, which they are going to do, it's a problem, innit? Because the fans are going to say, "Hold on, we just won the league. We're building something here." And if they decide to leave and you have a season next year where you step back, people could be like, fucking hell, they threw us back a bit. But I think that's a lot down to the FSG not getting them contracts sorted out earlier doors. But I just feel like I can see Virgil signing, but I don't think I can see Salah with his stock so high. I can see him just going on to pastures new, because he's going to get the bigger dough. And to talk about Barcelona now and stuff, and they seem to be on that upward curve, and I think he'd cook at Barcelona. But Virgil, is can he do another season like this season?
I think he can. I think
he definitely can.
2 years.
I think him and Salah, they're built different. Not even just from a technical standpoint, but from a physical standpoint. They take good care of themselves, man. And I think the way, maybe Salah more so than Virgil, but the way in which Liverpool play it with Salah. They give him less responsibility from the defensive end, in my opinion, from what I've seen this season. When he's getting the ball in moments and situations where he's ready to hurt the opposition. I think they've done a good job of keeping him fresh and making sure that he uses his energy responsibly during games. And I think if they can maintain that, at least for one more, I think these men are good to play at this level for at least another season. Like, I've seen nothing in Van Dijk's game right now to tell me, yeah, you're losing it. Like, I think we've seen centre-backs play at top levels for much longer than Van Dijk is currently at this stage of his career. I don't know, man. I feel like from a physical standpoint, these men, they look like machines. They just keep going and keep going and keep going.
You know what it is? I'm, you know, they do look like that, but I'm wary because I speak about it from a different point of view. I've spoken about how the midfield fell off. Yeah, I was very vocal and open about it. Do you remember, guys? I called out Fabinho before Liverpool fans called out Fabinho. Remember, I was telling you lot, Fabinho's finished. You lot, shut up, man. Fabinho's going strong. 6 months, 8 months later, everyone was like, Fabinho's finished. I spotted it. I said, Gini's finished. I was proved right. Henderson, Milner, Keita all fell off at the same time.
Matip.
Now we're seeing the only other team that was rivaling us, or we were rivaling, was Man City. We've seen the fall off for Man City. Same players, same longevity, same style, you know, high energy, loads of pressing. These players only take 6 months to fall off, you know. So as Salah and Virgil look amazing right now, but it happens just overnight. Ask Steve, ask me. I've seen it with my own eyes, these players, man. So they do look amazing right now. And I 100% agree. Take out Virgil and Salah out of this team. It's peak. But, you know what I mean? This is why. So this is a whole different, it's not a Liverpool specific show. I know you, SAEED, wants to make it a Liverpool specific show. But this is why, and I'm going to do a show on my channel, but this is why the data team at Liverpool are so apprehensive of giving big deals. Like, you know, fans say, give them whatever they want, how they want, when they want. This is why they brought back Edwards, because he don't go with emotion. He goes with strictly predicting, forecasting players, you know, levels. And if he says they're only worth 1 year deal or 2 year deal, then that's what they're going to offer them. So I know fans like to say, give them what they want, man. How can you say no to Virgil? How can you say no to Salah? Give them whatever they want, however long they want. Edwards doesn't work like that. So it is a tricky situation. I mean, I still adamant that they're not going. But if they were to go, take them out. And then all the other issues that we already got that we've addressed last week and this week about the strikers, there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work to do.
Is your number one target Isak then?
I believe so, yeah. Alvarez and Isak.
Alvarez?
You see the Alvarez deal? Apparently Liverpool went for Alvarez off us, and we agreed it, but we wanted Lucho.
Yeah, they wanted Diaz.
Part of the deal, and they didn't. They said no, so he went there.
And his agent said, "It's too. We don't want to talk about the future now." So they
one thing I'll say with Alvarez, his family pushed and pushed and pushed for a move abroad because of the sun and that and the climate. Yeah. I used to see his family, me, at Luton away with fucking 17 pairs of socks on and fucking gloves, like cool runnings in the stands, freezing the balls off, thinking, I don't want to be here. We need to get our boy somewhere warm. And now I see his missus over in Madrid and that, rollerblading and shit, looking all fucking suave. Yeah. And so I think it has to be a big deal to get him back over here.
I don't think we'll get him. But
I don't know why he'd come back.
I know.
Exactly, I was going to say.
I don't think we'll get him. I don't think he want to come back.
Now, how much would you pay for him when he's just left the night?
We're going to buy £100 million player this £100 million player this summer.
Go get Isak. He's better than Alvarez.
Which position?
Do you know what though? Newcastle, he's under contract. It's got to be big dough, record breaking dough.
Yeah.
Actually, nice.
Especially if Salah leaves, we're going big. We're not going to buy small time if Salah leaves.
Does anyone think Isak goes this summer to anywhere? Like, does he leave Newcastle?
If they get Champions League, I can't see it.
You know what? Because for me, it's like, you know what? He could say, you know what? I gave you the
money,
trophy.
bro.
72 years I've been here.
No,
You
it's
know,
not Champions League, Tobes.
70, hey?
No, Tobes saying it's money, but if it's Champions League, they won't go. He won't go, I don't think. If
Yeah,
they don't
I
get
don't know.
Champions League, he's
I-
definitely off. He's
Yeah.
definitely off if they don't.
I
get
don't even
Champions
think he's definitely off. The reason why I say that is because I don't think he's definitely off if they don't get Champions League, because I really don't believe that Newcastle are going to be in a position where they're forced to sell Isak for less than what they want. I think even if they don't make Champions League,
It's gonna
Champions
be
League,
next agreement, brother. He wants to play at
Huh?
the highest level. He said it.
yeah,
He
he
wants
wants to. He wants to. So he probably won't sign a new deal, but they're not going to let him go for cheap. Like, let me rephrase.
course
They're not going to
not.
let him go. They're not. I don't believe they're going to let him go for a price lower than what they would want to get. Like, you're seeing Caicedo go for 110 million. You're seeing Declan Rice go for 105 million. You're seeing Alvarez go for close to like 90 million. There's no way on earth
120
Newcastle,
minimum.
I think they'll ask for more. But that's
I
the
think that's
starting point. I think they'll ask for more, and they're
No, they
justified
ask
to
for
ask
more, but you're looking 120 plus.
130 to 150.
Yeah, you're
around
looking
there.
120 plus. Can Arsenal pay that?
And
Yeah,
that's
of
why I'm
course.
saying that's why I'm saying like I don't know if he does leave. So like I don't think that's why I'm saying like I also don't think Champions League is a factor. I think if a club are willing to pay what Newcastle value Isak at, I think he leaves in the summer. If someone came to Newcastle and slapped 130 to 140 million in their face, I think they're going to accept that for Isak.
Yeah, no,
What
but,
would you think? You think that's right, man? I think when you look at the market right now, you'd rather go and spend that much on Isak than go mess around and go and get
the
Sesko.
only thing
Yes,
I agree
if you
with
have
you,
the money,
David.
do it.
I agree.
Yeah,
with
do
you.
it. Yeah,
The only thing that would stop me from forking out that kind of money would be the injury situation. That's the only
the
thing.
injury is a bit of a myth right now. I can't lie. It's
We say
alright.
let's break it down. We say injury situation. I get you. He does pick up injuries, but last year he played 30 appearances in the Prem, 27 starts, 3 as a sub. The guy hit 20 or 21 Premier League goals. He's on 19 Premier League goals this season in about 25, 26 appearances. So this guy's gonna hit 20 or more Premier League goals in back-to-back seasons, on top of the link play, on top of the speed, on top of the strength, bro, on top of the age, on top of the versatility. There are certain players where even though they're showing signs, okay, they could get the injury here
There's
or
a lot
there.
of strikers about though. There is a lot of strikers. You know, I know we see Isak every week, so we're more inclined to talk about Isak. But there is certain strikers around Europe that are going to be looking for moves, man.
I find it incredible. People are struggling to find 100 million for Kane, but 140 for Isak, we're just no problem. I find that mad.
What do you mean?
What as in
The pressure that he's going to be under at 140 million.
I think you're taking it stride, you know.
Yeah, but what does 140 million for a striker look like? Is that just 20 goals? Because I think it's more than that. We're talking about Haaland. We're talking about, we're talking about Salah's numbers. That's the numbers you're expecting from Isak. You're not expecting no little 20 goals. You're expecting proper numbers from 100,
I think it's 20 goals.
140 million. 140 million.
I
Ivan
don't think it's
Toney and Solanke. Ivan Toney and Solanke were on the brink of 20 goals. Chris Wood's on nearly 20 goals. You're talking about 20 goals for 140 million.
No. You're not. The 20 goals. The 20 goals is talking about. It's relative to the games he's played. Right. He had 27 starts and bagged.
Yeah, I know, but you're not looking for 27 starts from 140 million. So on GRIZZ's point, you're looking for someone to stay fully fit and play minimum 35 out of them 38 games. You're looking for really going closer more to 30 goals, maybe like 25 plus.
And get that.
Yeah, I'm not saying he can't get that, but I'm saying like it's just weird how football's gone.
Do you think Isak's world class?
Yeah, he's world class right now, of course. We're like the way
I don't think he is world class.
So if you don't think he's world class, how can you say 140 million? You just put that down.
Because that's the mark.
I know what Matisse is saying there, but I think what you pay for the extra for is the X factor, and I feel like Chris Wood can get you 20 goals when he's the main man for Nottingham Forest and everything goes through him. Solanke can get you 20 goals at Bournemouth when the thing's him. But if you're playing in the Champions League or you're going for the title, you need the X factor. So if you put Solanke or them boys in Arsenal's team, they're not getting 20 goals because they haven't got the X factor. But if 140 to bring that X factor to get you the Premier League title, to get you the Champions League, we brought in Erling Haaland to win us the Champions League and we won the treble and he got 54 goals. That's the X factor. And I believe that this Isak has got that X factor. So we can probably fluke a few strikers that might get you 20. But when you get to them deeper competitions, when it's big boy time and you need someone to stand up, this kid's got it. That's
so
what
we
I
think he's on the brink of world class, but he's not world class just
yes,
yet.
yes. That's what I think. That's what I think. I think he's showing the trajectory that for me, he's going to be a world class player, 100%. But you're right.
But
you know what? Just some people.
So I was going to say, I think Matisse makes a very good point on the goal scoring record. Yes, you're looking for that world class goal scoring campaign. I fully hear that. Like, you want to see him hit 30 plus, close to 30 league goals. You want to see him hit like 35 in all competitions. Like, how many is he on in all comps this season?
Look, I don't think he's 140. I don't think he's going to go for 140. So I get what Matisse is saying, because 140, you're looking certified Mbappe Haaland levels.
Yeah,
he's not Haaland Mbappe levels. He's potentially world class. Yeah, let's not do the world class debate again. But he's on the cusp of being world class. So the Crespo world class, I think, is 100 million. That's me.
Roundabout just there.
Newcastle are going to ask for whatever they want because that's how much it's worth to Newcastle. Doesn't mean the buying club will pay that.
Yeah, but then my point is, if the buying club aren't going to pay that, they're not going to sell him. They'll just wait until
this is where the conflict of what me and you are saying. I agree with everything that you're saying, except where you said Champions League ain't a factor. I think Champions League is an absolute factor.
Yeah. No, I'm saying,
because you think the asking price comes down if there's no Champions League. Yeah, I'm just trying to weigh up if Gyökeres and Osimhen are 70 million less.
Osimhen 60 million in it.
That's what I'm saying. So we're talking about top clubs paying for a striker.
But why does
is someone going to deem Isak 60 million more expensive or 80 million more expensive than
because Toby, he's indicated that he wants to play in the Champions League at the highest level, right? If he can fulfill that at Newcastle, fair enough, yeah. But if they don't get Champions League, then they have to oblige and work with him to get the best deal. Now, that doesn't mean ask for something that clubs won't buy, because you're forcing him out, pricing him out of a move, which they're not going to want to do. Do you get it? That's my point.
You know what they did, Newcastle? They went and sold Elliot Anderson, one of their young stars. Yep. So Minte, they said, "Yo, we're not selling Isak. Even if we've got problems, we're not selling him." So they value him. So I don't
think they're completely out of the financial situation.
I don't know.
They might not be, but I also think their financial woes are being overstated. And SAEED makes a very good point. Even in the peak of their PSR situation, Minte, who did he kick a ball for in the Prem? And how much did they sell him for?
They sold him for like 30 odd million, wasn't it?
30 odd million. Elliot Anderson, didn't they sell him for close to 40 million?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a little diddle, innit? That was a little diddle. The Forest.
I was just letting you know that they
that's a little diddle, man. Come on, diddle.
Okay, we hear that, but the point I'm making is,
and even Gordon as well, they were flirting,
Exactly.
Gordon, shall I tell you something? Gordon, he was offered to Liverpool because of the financial situation. So we didn't know about Gordon, when Gordon was offered us. It's offered to us. So that means the financial obligation was that bad. Like Gordon had agreed. Gordon had told all his boys that
but GRIZZ, I think the point I'm making is this, like, okay, 140 million might be a bit too much. I understand that, but I don't think, Champions League or not, you're going to see Newcastle sell this guy for 100 million. I can't see that. And if I'm a Newcastle fan, or I'm Newcastle's owner or board, I'd be stupid to sell him for 100 million because I can get more money for him.
120.
No disrespect, it's like similar to the Harry Kane situation with Man City. When they were like, "Yo, 150 million or nothing."
Man, Harry Kane is a certified guy.
No,
he's saying that before that.
Now in the league, I'll let you know the level of striker. They're like, "Yo, Tottenham were like, nah, if you don't pay this money, we're not letting Man City have him. No way, 150 million or nothing." Obviously, the season later, they bought
Champions League. If they get Champions League, all of these mans are going to stay at Newcastle because of the Champions League night. They brought it back. But I don't think Gyökeres or Isak will go. One of them two will go.
Can I ask a question? So this PSR thing, how often does it actually result in a club getting the player on the cheap? Like all the club, think about it. All the clubs that have been hit with PSR, like the player that the player that the club wanted, like how often or how much of a discount have we seen on the player that they purchased? So let me give you an example. Richarlison, we went to Everton in the peak of their PSR issues. We still had to pay 60 million for Richarlison.
That's mad.
We still had to pay
Makes
60
it
million
worse because it's the club's only asset. It's the club's only asset. They need to get maximum money. They can't let it go for cheap. They have to get it maximum money. So it becomes an auction. So as soon as Tottenham bid 65 or 60, they're on the phone to every other club and go, listen, Tottenham's here for Richarlison 65, anyone else what? And that's how it becomes. And then they start doing these dodgy deals with the academy players to and fro. You give us 20 million for him, we'll give you 30 for him, and then you buy him for 40. And it's madness. We know that rule don't work.
Look at the comment there from about Branthwaite. They wanted 70 million.
Yeah,
and they had issues financially. But they said, nah, we're not selling Branthwaite. So Newcastle will say, you know what? And I don't think Isak is the type of guy, what Newcastle gave him, the fans have given him, for him to be like, yo, I'm forcing a move. I'm going to do transfer requests. I'm going to not come to training. He's going to be a professional. He's not going to, but if that money comes through, he's going to be like, yo, bro, that's a lot of money now. 120.
Realistically,
100%.
he's only ever going to, if he's going to leave Newcastle, it's either Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, maybe.
Chelsea as well.
No, nobody else is going for him. City won't go for him for Haaland, etc., etc. But so he's not at a bad club. The fans adore him. He can do no wrong. He's just won a trophy. And if he gets to the Champions League, for me, I think he's going to stay there one more season, see how it goes. But if Newcastle can get their act together with this PSR and start adding more quality additions to the squad and bringing people in and say, look, we're going to bring quality players in to support you, then why not stay and build a team around him? That's what he's there for.
They're a point off Champions League. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
They deserve a lot more. They deserve a lot of credit, man. Their recruitment's been spot on. You look at all the issues they've had financially. They've brought in almost everyone, if not everyone they've brought in has just banged. Like since the takeover, the fullbacks, Livramento.
I don't think that's true.
Or almost everyone who hasn't.
Say that. Chris Wood, that wasn't a bang, but they did that to take away Chris Wood from their rival at the time for relegation.
Yeah, well, 90% of them are banged, that's a good rate to be at.
Yeah, I agree.
Livramento, ridiculous up against
Great
Salah. Business. Yeah,
Lewis Hall.
Absolutely ripped it. Lewis Hall's out injured, but he's been brilliant. The midfield, Gordon when he's fit, when he's available. Bro, man. People are lucky that they don't have all the money in the world to just spend like freely because of the rules. Because if they did, it would be a problem, big problem.
Yeah, and credit to Eddie Howe as well, man, because you know what I mean. I know Steve, you've been cooking him and that, but I've always thought he's a good manager.
Even beginning of this season, they wanted him gone. They were saying enough's enough, and he's just turned it round and gone on this run. I mean, have you ever think of Eddie Howe? He's a strange geezer. Have you ever seen? He did an interview with Simon Jordan on the podcast. It's on BBC Sounds or something like that, and he literally, when you listen to him, he literally didn't want to take the Bournemouth job because he didn't think he was good enough. Then he didn't want to take the Burnley job because he didn't think he was a manager. And then he shit himself at Newcastle. And when you listen to him talk, he sounds like a guy with no confidence, zero confidence at all. Yeah. So, and then all of a sudden, like you say, he seems to have got his act together, but it's all about his team around him. He's turned down jobs because he couldn't bring certain people with him and all that. But listen to that interview, you get a bit of an insight into him. So I've got to give him credit. I didn't see him winning the trophy there. I'll be honest, I didn't see him winning a trophy there. And I honestly believe that if Newcastle aim to go and try and challenge for the Premier League, I do believe they're going to need somebody else than him there. It's all right picking up domestic League Cup here and there, but I just don't think... But now he's won his trophy. Now he's fucked. Now he's won the trophy. Now this is it. The Newcastle. You can't hear no wrong about him now. So I mean, but
the thing is, though, that only comes with when you buy better players and you
exactly. Yeah. So he deserves his chance. He deserves his chance. I've got to give him credit. That's why I apologised and to him and that. And listen, I said to Matty early in the season, I hope you prove me wrong. And the Newcastle fans outside the Etihad the other week was coming over talking to me and that. And I feel good for him. I once worked with a Newcastle fan and he said to me, I'll never forget what he said to me. He said, if we ever win the League Cup, I'd get it tattooed on my back. And I thought, wow, these guys are starving, man. They deserve it. So that guy is probably out there now getting his tattoo appointment of his League Cup on his back.
I think he deserves way more credit, man. Way more credit. Like, you're looking at him there. They finished 11th, right, after the relegation scrap, right? They was on a great run at the back end. Then they finished 4th. They finished 7th, right? Which Chelsea and Man United standards over the last couple of years, and Tottenham this season and whatever, right? That's not bad in the Champions League season. And this season they're 6th, and this is his second final. This is his second final. Carabao Cup final against Man United. Yeah. Now Carabao Cup final against Liverpool. And we just spoke about the run that he's been on as well. Deserves all the credit. Deserves all the credit and opportunity.
Agree.
Yeah.
Really totally agree. He had. Sorry, go on, Saeed.
No, just do you not also think it's a bit damning though that Newcastle, that's their first trophy in 70 years. Like, I think teams now, like, they need to go for these cups, man. You know, like Aston Villa's. I think they've not won anything in 20 years since they last won the League Cup in 1995. I think. Like, I've had Fulham not won a trophy. Fulham not won a trophy in their history. Like, I just think these clubs now, that's a sign for them to be like, you know what? Let's start taking these little cups seriously now. That are in not the top 4, top 8. Just kind of go in there and say, you know what? Let's go for these trophies, man. You can do it. They've been in 2 finals in 2 years now. Go for it.
Look at the team still in the FA Cup.
Yeah, this is going to be. This might be one of those seasons.
I hope they win it, and I hope Man City don't win it. Like, you know, and I hope, you know, like I said, it's crazy, man.
I think the thing I like about Eddie Howe is like he shows variation, and I feel like he's bounced back from adversity. He faced adversity last year, and there were moments where it looked sticky for him. But even in the midst of like the worst injury crisis you've had at the club, having to compete with Champions League football, not getting all of the players that you needed in the summer transfer window, Tonali unavailable as well for X number of months, they still finished 7th. Which is more than you can say for certain other managers who have faced equivalent injury crises playing in the second tier European competition that he was playing at, and you got teams in 13th and 14th in that. So I do think he deserves credit as well. And when bringing a trophy to Newcastle, it's not been done in 70-something years, bruv. He's achieved icon status at Newcastle, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Would you take him
at Spurs? Absolutely. I would take him.
Good manager, man.
Absolutely, but he's not going to come to Tottenham.
No, but I do think that when you lot was on the whole, I think the next Newcastle step up will come with a new manager, because as good as he's done, and he does deserve a hell of a lot of credit for it.
Well, he's going to get a shot at the Champions League once. They're going to give him one shot at the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubts about his future. I'm not saying anything like that, but I just feel like the next step up for them, because they've got players there. You just talked about one being on the brink of world class, the midfield unit up there with the best in the league this season. So, you know, the expectations now that they've won a trophy is that you're going to kick on now, because Carabao, you know, it's nice, but where Newcastle's owners' ambitions lie, you know, it's bigger than the Carabao Cup. So I do think that eventually that time will come where it'll be like a amicable goodbye rather than any big fallout, in my opinion, because he has won them a big trophy. He goes down in their history books. So Tottenham, that's why I asked the question, because it could be in 18 months that happens. Could be less. Next season, depends how they started.
It depends on how far, like you said, it depends on how far he can take him, right? But we'll see. I'm sure they'll take the PSR stuff into consideration as well, right? Because there's only so much you can do, right? When you're basically capped at like what you can bring in, and at what stage you can bring said players in, right? So we'll see.
They're in the Conference League now, anyway. So next season they'll probably win that. So that's another trophy there they can possibly win.
Well, they might. I'm sure they'll qualify for more than that.
Yeah, probably, innit?
Yeah.
And that'll get pushed down to 8th or 9th or something. So
yeah.
One of you man might still be able to grab that.
You're all right there. Like,
Hey, I'm trying to keep the show alive.
We're nowhere near it, so I don't know if you're
Like,
trying to talk to me. We're 13.
We need something.
I don't know. Speak to Brighton and them man there, bro. Like, no, we're not down there. But you never know. You never know.
What's the point of differences? I GRIZZ, 130 for Isak or 80 for Gyökeres.
Isak's my guy, man.
Yeah, Isak.
130 is steep, but I'd go Isak, yeah. Isak
I'm not convinced about Gyökeres, me.
Same.
You can't be
He looks
convinced.
good.
He does it, I guess. But
What do you mean not convinced? But guys scoring goals is
Yeah, but Matisse, sorry, SAEED.
Yeah.
We've seen these players before that scored fucking goals. I remember Zaki coming to Wigan and getting 20 goals. Mido getting 20 goals. The guy, it can happen, but I've seen him in the flesh and I don't know. I'm just not convinced by it. It might come and bite me on the ass, but you can't always go for them records.
Yeah. I think his age, though,
Premier League's a different animal.
Yeah,
26,
Premier League's
27.
a different animal.
The more questions,
He looks good though. He does look good, and I think he's performed very well in the Champions League this season. But I'm with Steve because it's like Champions League. Like if you look at the teams he's played, right? Like Man City have been out of sorts. He's played Lille and a few others, and then really his bread and butter is in the Portuguese league. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. That league for me has not produced a top striker in years. The strikers that they've not produced. I'm sorry, they when it comes to midfielders, defenders, they're producing gems. But when it comes to strikers, the hit rate for strikers, the last couple of years from that league, it's been fugazi. And that's why it's not even a thing to say that Gyökeres is bad. I'll maintain. I think he looks a good striker, but like to be the real deal, you need to see it tried and tested outside of that league. You have to.
There's how do you say the Eintracht Frankfurt striker Etereke?
Yeah,
He looks cold.
So
He looks cold.
he was at Paris, wasn't he? He was at PSG, wasn't he?
There's Jonathan David on a free transfer. I think Spurs should snap him up personally.
No
But
thanks.
Toby won't take him. There you go. Toby don't take him. Okay. And there's Sesko, and there's the other one, Osimhen. There's 4 strikers apart from Gyökeres and Isak. I reckon there's 4 strikers. I think there's a very good chance at least 3 of them end up in the Premier League.
Yeah,
I think Gyökeres is clean the second behind Isak though. That's why I asked that. I don't think there's. I think it's Isak, then it's Gyökeres, then there's a few there.
Someone
That's
will
how I
take a
see it.
gamble on him. He's worth a gamble at that kind of money. He's worth it. He worth
The
it.
one that's not worth the one that's not a gamble, and the one that's got a certified release clause, I don't understand why Osimhen is not a done deal to someone already. Unless he made
not a gamble.
You don't think it's a gamble?
Not a gamble, but you can't. If
He's not
Gyökeres,
a gamble, man. Osimhen is goals.
yeah, but
Goals.
Gyökeres.
So why don't you sign him
Goals
then?
as well, to be fair.
Why don't you sign him?
Right now?
I'm not in charge. Otherwise, I'd look at him, Matisse.
Mm.
Serious. That's what I
60
mean.
M's.
I think it's because it's very hard to find strikers who can be complete, who can do a multitude of things, and I think that's what probably holds back Osimhen. Osimhen does miss a lot of chances, and Osimhen just isn't. His game isn't as refined as.
Man,
It's true. That's what I was about to say. His game isn't as refined as Isak, but he generates so much traffic, so much chaos. Like he's going to put defenders on edge. If you have Osimhen in the team, you're always. I think you're always going to be able to generate chances for him because he's active, but he's also got injury problems as well, GRIZZ.
Yeah,
Osimhen.
injury problems as well. Yeah,
He's also got injury problems as well.
You know,
I think those 2 strikers, Steve is right. I think one
Agent of
big
Chaos
some club will take a punt on them for sure.
Yeah,
For sure. Gyökeres, someone will take a punt on Gyökeres for sure. But I feel like if I'm looking at like an Arsenal or like a Liverpool, if you're looking for the piece, not a piece, the piece, you're gonna go for Isak every day of the week. Every day of the week.
Arsenal can't afford to be taking punts now. They can't afford to be taking punts now.
Yeah.
They took a punt, getting Declan Rice in, thought that was the missing piece, didn't work. They've took a few punts this season, fixing every other department, bar the one that needed fixing. That didn't work. They can't take a punt on a striker now. They have to go elite level striker. So they have to be 100% certain. This is why Isak, Osimhen, like GRIZZ says, he's got that record if you keep him fit. If they go and spend 80 million and everybody gets gassed up with Gyökeres and thinks he's the missing piece of the jigsaw and he comes to the Premier League and stinks it out, It's another fucking season gone down the drain on a gamble.
But
It has to be elite level.
That's where for me, Gyökeres is someone that comes in with no excuses though. He's bagged.
Yeah.
All right. Portuguese league ain't the greatest, but he's bagged unbelievable numbers. 40 goals, 10 assists in 41 games. That's crazy
insane.
Numbers. He bangs.
Fucking do you remember him? He played for Porto, Yardell. Remember?
Yeah, well,
Mario Yardell. He got 50 fucking goals. He come over
ago.
to England. He looked like he'd been on the piss for 6 months. He had a bigger beer
Look
belly.
at him. Look at my boy. Look at my boy. Forget anyone else. Look at
Nunes,
my
bro.
boy.
Nunes
Nunes,
look
yeah.
cold.
You look at Nunes' record. So say Nunes is playing for Benfica now, and he's doing what he's doing now, and Arsenal need a striker. 1,000,000% the Arsenal fans are saying we need to sign Nunes. We need to sign Nunes.
Gyökeres is better than Nunes, man.
Yeah.
Come
He's
on.
come to the
That's
Premier
what I'm
League
saying.
though, and
That's what I'm
he's found it difficult. So it's not that.
Gyökeres technically is clear of Nunes.
He's very good player.
Like, we're
He's
acting like
very good player.
Gyökeres is some
Well,
kick and run
Gyökeres as
merchant
well.
or some.
Nobody's
bobbly-
saying that.
bobbly
Nobody.
touch.
I don't think that's what Steve's saying. Steve's saying it's
Yeah,
that
but I'm
league,
saying
bro.
so that you shouldn't use Nunes as a yardstick to beat
No,
Gyökeres.
what I'm
You
saying,
should,
of
because
course
they
we
played
can.
in the same
Nunes
league.
was
He's
doing
not
the
playing
same
the
thing
same
Gyökeres
league.
was doing
They played
in
in the same
Portugal.
Werner and Haaland played in the same league. We didn't compare them, did we?
No, but the numbers,
Yes,
the
but
numbers
Haaland's thing is
of
less,
Haaland
bro.
and Werner weren't the same. But
Come on.
Nunes and Gyökeres, they were hitting big numbers in Portugal. What we're trying to say is, don't let that Portuguese record thing.
And how much was he
cloud your
scoring?
judgment.
Was it one
It's
season?
all-
I'm not saying go off the record. I'm saying just go off
Chris,
the
it's one
the
season.
player. The player's a very good
By the
link
way-
player. The player's very good at ball carrying. The player's got a good
Yeah, but
touch. The player's nothing like
I've
Nunes.
watched him a few times, and he scored against City, and before that, it was bouncing off him all off his fucking chest. It was hitting his fucking kneecaps and flying all over the place. They only show you the goal, and I came on this show after he scored and said, he's not the player you think he is, and everyone went, Steve Salty.
Yeah, but let
I
me
watched
tell
him
you
in my
about
own eyes.
no, but let me tell you about the Nunes one. He had one season. That's it.
Mm.
Like Gyökeres has been doing it for what, 2-3
Just
seasons
one.
now?
Yeah, just one. Yeah.
You know what I mean? This guy's had one
and
season.
Gyökeres has more goals now than Nunes had across that whole season. I'm looking at it
That's
now,
what I'm
and the
saying, man.
season before,
Yeah,
and he does
it's not the same.
Yeah, but
Champions-
It's not the same.
guys,
Champions
I hear
League
you.
6 and 9, international
Yeah.
football, Sweden. He bags for Sweden.
Sweden as well.
He
Yeah.
bagging everywhere.
Gyökeres was at Coventry, lads. Just saying.
Yeah. But that's even, I like that though. I like that story though.
I think he scored what? He scored like 16, 17 for them.
Yeah.
So to be fair,
Someone
The
mentioned-
Champions is one of the
career.
hardest leagues in the world as well, by the way. Like,
if you look at his
Someone
career,
mentioned
he is
Liam
trending
Delap,
up.
you
Like
know.
he's showing like,
Oh, yeah.
incremental growth. But I'm with Steve as well. Like you never know, man. With certain leagues now, like you want to see it. I know it sounds mad, but you really want to see it like tried and tested, bro. You do.
It depends on price,
Yeah, but
man.
the
It
only
depends
tried and
it's a state of
tested
the
one
club.
there is.
Like Arsenal can't
Yeah.
take. Arsenal need
That's
to
the-
take. Arsenal can't take a punt.
Fair point,
Liverpool-
Chris. That's a fair point.
Liverpool always looking for someone potential. You know what I mean? Arsenal need a finishing touch because they need to
This
get
is what
over
I
the
said.
line.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
If he's gonna cost 60 million, he's the same price as Solanke. That's all I'm saying.
yeah.
No need for that
Yeah.
straight.
No, it's
What's
just
that,
true.
sorry?
Facts. It's just
What's
facts.
that?
It's facts.
No,
It's
I
facts.
agree.
What did he say? Sorry.
No
Nothing,
problem.
That's your boy.
No, I'm not actually having an argument. What did he say? Like, what did you say?
You're gonna.
I won't.
I'm saying if he costs 60 million, he's the same price as Solanke.
then yeah, you can pay that. I'm not saying don't pay it. I'm just saying at least last summer Solanke, Spurs had body of work in the Prem to go off. With Gyökeres, he probably he might be better than Solanke, but you've not seen it in
body
a
of
top
work.
5 league.
Are
You've
you
not seen it.
did you just say he might be, bro? I don't give a shit where you seen it, bro. He's definitely better than Solanke, bro. Have some.
Okay, that's
body of work,
that's
by the
not what I'm disputing.
Yeah, but you
even
just
if
said
think
that.
Cool. Yes,
And
I'm
what
not
good season,
disputing.
Solanke?
If you think that, that's cool. I'm not disputing that. What I'm saying to you is the point that Steve is making. In that league, it's very difficult to judge. So you can throw up all the stats about internationals, Champions League. If the bulk of your goals is coming from that league, it's very difficult to say, hand on heart, no debate, this guy's it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
With what we're watching these days, it's very difficult to say that with many players.
Bro,
Many
especially the striker
Yeah,
market.
like-
It's not difficult to say that with Isak now, is it?
No,
Is
but
it?
the
But then I want to hear him. He's world class. Then what the fuck are we waiting for?
Why does he have to be world class to be certified? He's on
For
that
140 for 140 million, he needs to be world class. Yes, he does.
That's how much Newcastle are going to. That's how much Newcastle are going to demand or close.
And I'm asking you, would you pay 140 million?
If I had it, yes, I would.
All right,
if I had
he's world class. That's it. He's world
I
class.
think Isak 100%, no doubts in my mind, takes Arsenal to the Premier League title. 100%. I think Gyökeres, I'm 50-50 with it. That's what I'm trying to say overall. I just think if they can push the ball out, Arsenal make a real statement, get Isak with the players they got behind him. I think there's no excuses. Then it's Arsenal's title all the way. There's no excuse. That's it. They've got the
I do think Isak's world class. By the way, the way he's been playing is crazy. I do think he's already there. He just hasn't been. He's not at the club that puts him in the moments to show he's like, you know, Champions League semi-finals and things. He's yet to get to that stage before everyone, because that's what it is now. That's what people want to see. He hasn't reached that stage. So
the reason why I love Isak so much is because I grew up watching Nicholas Anelka, and I said Nicholas Anelka is like
I was in the stands watching Nicholas Anelka. Nicholas Anelka was quality, man. When we signed him,
Anelka was
from you because you didn't want him.
Ridiculous. And you know this Isak brother, he's got a lot of similarities to Nicholas Anelka, guys. That's why I love Isak. But let's see. If he gets Champions League, he ain't getting nowhere.
Liverpool chose El Hadji Diouf, Nicholas Anelka. And then we got Nicholas Anelka. The last game of the season at Anfield, Liverpool needed to win to go in the Champions League. Nicholas Anelka pinged it top bag for City, and we beat him there. And Chelsea got in it.
I love Gerard Houllier. Gerard Houllier put his literal life on the line for Liverpool. Absolute hero, legend. But when he chose El Hadji Diouf over Nicholas Anelka, my heart broke. My heart broke.
If you agreed a fee with Newcastle, do you think you'd agree personal terms with Isak?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm asking you because agreeing personal terms is a problem for you lot. So would you agree personal terms, do you think?
I think we'd go. I think how many times we've been burnt without Edwards. Edwards works the other way around. He agrees the personal terms. He makes sure the player wants to come, and then we don't do all this Caicedo and Lavia business was done without Edwards. So that's why the hierarchy brought this guy back. Say, don't fuck about with deals again and do our embarrassment in the market, because we were embarrassing that summer. Fair.
Yeah. We got a fair few super chats in as well. The reason I asked about the Gyökeres thing is because 130 is a big outlay for any club, let alone Arsenal, Liverpool. So if you're telling me Gyökeres 80 and Nico Williams 50, in what Arsenal need right now, as much as I love Isak, I'd rather probably spread the peas over two of those types of players than I would go all in. Even though I agree with Steve, he is the guarantee. And we would also be one injury away from back to Kai, Martinelli, and you know the rest of them. So we need a couple players, and 130 Arsenal. We would probably start selling half the team after spending that, because
you're not convinced by Nico Williams, yeah?
It's time for you.
I'm not convinced. But
but
he's averaging Madueke numbers for goals.
Turkish
last 3 seasons.
But Turkish, it's time for you lot to put your money where your mouth is when it comes to your attackers. Like you lot have been spending big 100%. But then that's the point I'm making. Like you can't. I get your point, but with all due respect, it's time for your club to put up or shut up, man.
But Tobes, last year, look, this is the difference. Last summer, you can't find another Arsenal fan that online. I said spend 150 on Isak. I said that last summer. I said that multiple times last summer. This summer's different because we need a striker, we need a winger, and probably one more attacker across the front line. We need midfielders because Jorginho and Partey is going. So as much as you're right, and last year in the situation we was in, I think one striker and another attacker would have really put us over the line. We're not that close anymore, bro. We're not. And if we go spend 130 Isak, 50, 60 on Nico Williams or Lookman or whatever, and then another 80 on another attacker, what's our midfield after Jorginho and Partey leave? We've only got Rice, Marino, and all. So the club have left themselves in a position where we need to be spending around 300 mil.
I was going to say around 230, 240.
No, it needs to be around 250, 300, bro. Because of the attackers cost the most money, and we've left ourselves in a position where we need to buy 2-3 attackers in one.
Anyhow, Arsenal don't win the league after spending 250, 300. Yeah. Crazy.
Well, what's
Yeah,
gonna happen?
and I would be shrewd. I would probably bring in Jonathan David on a free. You know,
Yeah.
why not?
Backup. Yeah, backup.
Fine,
Yeah.
that's a free transfer. He's a consistent
I think
scorer in League
everyone
One,
should-
whatever.
I don't rate him personally, so I'm going to be a hypocrite here. It won't be the first time. I don't rate him, but he would be a decent free transfer for a lot of clubs.
Yeah.
A lot of clubs.
It's free. You can't really go wrong.
I
Innit?
just don't
Arsenal,
rate him.
sorry, Arsenal shouldn't be wasting their time with Jonathan David. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, not as their main. But what he's saying is like, if they're looking for two forwards, he can be the free one, so they can go all out on an Isak.
I don't even
Yeah.
think they should be. I don't think they should be wasting their time on him as a backup. I think Arsenal have already got how many freeloaders do you have in your team right now? Let's be serious.
But if you're calling them
Jesus.
freeloaders,
Havertz is
does
an
that
eight,
make
innit?
sense to
Havertz is
the
an
title?
Havertz is an 8.
Havertz isn't going to
not
play
eight,
8.
man. He ain't an
Havertz
eight.
is going to play striker.
That's
Gabriel
what I'm saying.
Jesus is still
That's what I'm saying.
206.
He's a
260
false
something.
false 8,
I
10,
pers-
9.
He's out for
I-
half the season.
Who's out for half the season? Sorry?
Jesus is out for half of next season
Yeah,
as well.
no, but that's the point. But that's the point I'm making, right? I'm with you. I think you need minimum 2 attackers to come into the team, but I just don't really see Jonathan David being an attacker that's worth bringing in. I get your point, Grizz, logically, in terms of it reducing the spend that they would have to make across both sets of players.
Only by what
Right.
Turkish was saying. Otherwise, yeah, I
But-
agree. He's not Arsenal level.
Let him be the main attacker.
Arsenal,
For
Arsenal
me,
need.
he replaces Eddie essentially.
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm saying? We still ain't done that, let alone replace by the
Sterling.
replace Oba,
Sterling,
whoever.
Jesus.
Your Eddie would be Kai Havertz if you brought another striker in.
Listen,
80
Kai
million.
Havertz ain't no Eddie on
Kai Havertz is a
275k a week.
utility. He's a utility man, really. Though you can put him off the bench, you put him in
But
multiple positions, and
But then
and
would you rather not? I get your point. I wouldn't have him in my squad altogether, but he's in your squad. And the question is, would you rather that off the bench with the goals that he's got you this season, and you have Isak starting in front of him, and then you have another starting wide option on the left-hand side, and you have one of Martinelli or Trossard in competition, then you have Waneri covering for Bukayo Saka.
I'd sell Martinelli. I'd bring in a left winger. I'd bring in a striker, a bad boy, Isak or Gyökeres, and I'd bring in Jonathan David on the free. Just because, why not add in one more? Because Jesus is injured half the season. Havertz ain't really a striker.
Wow.
You might need him to
Because
come on.
he's not good enough.
Oh, revamp, yeah.
Yeah, that's the reality. But I mean,
So
he has-
you're accepting someone that you know is not really good enough.
Oh, you mean
That's-
Jonathan David? I mean, but
Yeah.
but when you say he's not good enough, he's not good enough to play week in, week out for Arsenal. But
No,
he
I don't
can-
think he's good enough.
he-
Period for Arsenal.
He
better than
can
Eddie
be an
Nketiah.
asset off the
He
bench.
can be an option. He can be an option.
But why? But why though? I don't get that. For me,
Proven
that
in League
kind of
One, it's
that
own
kind of squad
goals.
building just doesn't make sense to me. Why? What's the point? If you
Because
know that he's
Why
not,
not?
if you know that he's not at the level, so what? If he
At
gives you
what
a better
level, though?
option than-
At what level?
at the level good enough to play and start for Arsenal Football Club and play Champions League
But
football.
even me and you, yeah, me and you don't like Havertz, right? But even me and you have admitted that putting his wage aside, he can be useful off the bench. But that's
Yeah.
someone that's not good enough for Arsenal. But we have
Facts.
admitted that he can be useful off the bench. So what are you saying here? Jonathan David's free. He's on 30k a week at Lille. But you can give that man 65k. He's
can't-
doubled his money. And
You can't have 22 players that are good enough to play for Arsenal playing for Arsenal. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't work.
But
If they were good enough to play, because if they were good enough to play for Arsenal, they wouldn't be on the bench in the first place. You can't have bench players that are always the ready to play for Arsenal. You're gonna have some decent bench players that just come in and do a job. That's what Jonathan David probably does. He just comes in
I don't
and
know, man.
he plays cup
Like,
games.
you can
He might
argue-
play-
you can
he might
Maybe
play
I'm watching a
against
different player to you lot, but
You can argue
Bro,
Trossard.
he's free. That's
is
all I'm
not
saying. He's
good
free.
enough to
I
start
mean,
for
Grizz,
Arsenal.
ask him.
But he's the
There's
best.
some good free signings this summer. I mean, Leroy Sané is knocking about. I think Leroy Sané would be a great signing for the Premier League. Nah, he's
That is low key wash,
he's
man.
Do you think he can come back here though?
I do. I don't think he's been overly played there. I think he's got a bad attitude problem, Yeah. and I think he needs someone to wrap his arms around him and show him a
Guys,
bit of love.
that's Chelsea. Chelsea will do that.
See that video of him just
Newcastle, mate. Yeah, Newcastle, mate. Someone like Newcastle
What are you
get
talking
Leroy Sané on a free. Be good.
Why are we doing this? You know my age limit is 25 at Chelsea. You're out here talking about Sane.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
washed,
you
man.
Let's be serious.
He's not
But the way
washed.
you talk about your wingers, though, you need a whole four man coming in on the left and the
Did
right.
you not see do you see Quenders is coming in 2026?
Oh yeah, Saeed, don't be up at 4 a.m. in the morning doing breaking news on Chelsea. I was so confused, bro. I opened my phone, I was thinking, what's going on?
What would
That's
YouTube be like?
morning.
What would YouTube be like when Man United signed Ibrahimovic, Paul Pogba, Di Maria, you know, Schweinsteiger? You're up at 4 a.m. covering Quenders.
I was when we got
Did you really?
He was up at 4 a.m. covering Quenders going to someone else's club.
I was on Facility anyway. I was on Facility, and I was like, "Yo, what's going on here?"
We need to have words.
You need a life, Saeed. You need a life.
I was about. You get me? So
you should not be about. You should not be active.
I didn't get it, but yeah. Big up Saeed though. He had over 1K locked in at 4 a.m. bro. Not many.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
still. The community is strong.
People are there. People are there, man.
All right, let me do super chats because we've got a hella super chats, over 40. I'll try and get in as many as I can before keeping it moving, but I've got them all saved. LFC Bad, I hope you're good. Newcastle deserved it, and watch Saeed's review after the Biryani bandits killed me. They started singing 10 points of Europe. You'll never sing that. 10 points of Europe. You'll never sing that.
10 points, like 10 points behind. Having a bit of laugh, you know what I mean?
Having a bit of a laugh, yeah. Big up Philippe as well. Hey, Philippe, original supporter of the Big Six. Greatest night ever. So proud of my team. Turkish knows how long I've waited for the trophy. Newcastle are here to stay. Big up Liverpool. You'll deservedly win the title. Matisse, that's how you beat them in a final.
You know what? Big up Philippe, man. He's been a long serving, like.
Yeah. Big up.
Big up Philippe, man.
Well deserved. And to be honest, just Newcastle in general, I mean, yeah,
big up
you've gone through a lot. So
today, there, man, Matty, like I said, you know what I mean? The first time there was actually some engagement in the mid-six group chat. I was like, bro, what's happened there, man? Are we doing a new show here?
We're back.
Trying.
Getting the band back together.
You know what I mean? Little congratulations on that. Crazy.
Dennis says, if this show is still going on in 5 years and Newcastle continue this form whilst Tottenham, Chelsea and United continue flopping, which panel member is getting replaced by a rowdy Geordie first?
Why do we have to ask this question? It is obviously Tottenham. We don't need to keep doing this. If there is anyone to be replaced, it is Tottenham. They don't do anything in the present. They haven't done anything in the past. They're not doing anything in the future. I don't know how many times I can say this. Me and Saeed, we have titles. We have Champions League. Do not rope my club in with Tottenham. It's very disrespectful. I take it personally. You can yawn all you like, but you know it's facts.
I'm not yawning at you. I couldn't care less about this
conversation.
Saying,
I don't like
saying you can yawn all you like.
I don't like this question, and I don't like the fact that this question, like, there's no debate. It's just Tottenham. That's who you're competing with.
You keep saying it's just Tottenham, but the guy's saying it's still going on in 5 years' time. You finish.
It doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
I'm not even. If you're still shit in 5 years' time, it's you. It's you.
I'm not disputing your point around the team that's most at risk, Spurs. We don't win anything. You're right. We don't even finish regularly in the top six nowadays, which was the whole premise of Spurs being a Big Six team, because we were consistently finishing higher than the traditional top four clubs. For whatever reason, that keeps going over people's heads. Spurs weren't in the Big Six just because of that. Spurs became a Big Six team because we were routinely finishing above the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, in probably like the early 2010s.
Oh, we don't have to explain this stuff, man.
I don't know where he's going with this, honestly.
The point where I'm going with this is he asked, whilst Tottenham, Chelsea, and Man United continue flopping, right? Yes, we're at risk, but you have been in disgust. You finished 12th just a year and a half ago.
It doesn't matter.
I'm saying we don't care. No, wait.
When was the last time you won something? When was the last time we won something? When was the last time
Dennis'
won something?
job is done.
That's
Dennis,
it.
well
I don't know why you. Everything has to be a debate with you.
There's no debate.
Somebody told you
told you were the most.
I've just agreed
with you. I've just agreed with you, brother.
So why
agreed with you.
What are you talking about?
Because you seem to think that you're untouchable.
Yes, when you're here, yes, I am.
There's no yes. He said if this show is still going on in 5 years' time,
I am here untouchable.
5 years' time, and you're still complaining.
Me and Saeed are untouchable
about Noni Madueke and JD Sancho.
Until you're
while I'm here, Toby's is untouchable as well. I'm not having Toby. I'm not having Toby removed regardless of where Spurs finish.
It's funny,
Toby
man.
will
Yeah, but
always-
Grizz, can you imagine how I feel going to a Club World Cup this summer with Steve? Yeah, me and him gonna get sunburnt. Yeah, well, Steve will get sunburnt. I'll be fine. Yeah, and I got Tottenham TOBS telling me what? What's he telling me? I don't understand. You don't even know what Club World Cup is.
Yes,
Why
I do.
Why
Why do you
arguing
do this?
about?
Do you think I don't watch football just because I support a team that don't win anything? I don't know what World Club is. You don't know what World Club is. You
World Cup.
you don't know what World Club is.
I said World Cup, you know.
No, man, Toby for life, man. Come on,
Big up, Dennis.
my brother.
This one from Freddie saying calling Szoboszlai Hungarian Gerrard is worse than Maddison football genius. At least Maddison is doing what a 10 has to do. Szoboszlai is a 10 being praised for doing the Agate role. Grizz, apologize to TOBS.
Facts.
You got 44 super chats and you're dwelling on this.
Just wanted to give you the
My
first
guy,
one,
Freddie.
really.
My
you just
guy.
back, you just
Freddie.
backed TOBS, so I thought you might have something
Yeah,
for him.
Toby, you know. But
Jason.
very quickly, I will address that. I don't like Szoboszlai in the 10. So if Toby said that and I argued with him, I apologize for that. But Szoboszlai is a component in the Liverpool team.
Respect Ogate as well, please. The chat.
Garte, what the fuck was that
That's
about?
crazy. You bought him as a 10, and now you're saying that he shouldn't be played in the 10.
No, man, he's not a 10, man.
He's not a 10. Jesus. Fuck
Yeah.
no. Ugh.
But where was he
Jace.
playing? For
Ever
Leipzig?
Steven Gerrard played, man?
We grew up on David Silva. What the fuck?
Exactly, Matisse. Exactly. But I asked you a question. Where was he
I've
playing for
explained
Leipzig?
there's different coaches.
Ever Gerrard played, man?
As
Oh,
years
no.
have gone by,
The heat
different roles have different positions have asked different coaches like different roles for different players. So they've evolved. But
Yeah,
in the
it's a
classic
pressing
10,
10.
yeah, he's not a classic 10 at all.
No.
So I want to put that out before people start chatting shit.
You're using him how we put Gallagher in the 10.
Remember them ones?
Yeah.
Well, Enzo like the other day, yeah, it was a non-entity, but yeah.
Oh, no.
Jay says, Grizz, we're in March and none of Mo, Trent, and Virgil have signed. Are you worried? Shout out Big Steve for calling it out in November. Worried?
No, me personally, but plenty are.
No. Okay. Dennis adds, if only Liverpool still had a Hungary player like Stevie G to save them when they're in a pickle.
Oh, there's no one like Steven Gerrard like that, yeah.
Jay again says, question for the panel, is Gravenberch a 6 or an 8? Can he be Liverpool's long-term 6? Do they still need Zubimendi?
Not Zubimendi. I would do whatever. You know, we were talking about big fees for Isak and all this business. I would spend all our budget on Baleba, me personally.
What, even after that miss?
Brian. Oh, yeah, fuck that. but he's an absolute, yeah.
He's good. I watched him close range weekend and good energy on him, powerful. But
I've heard
don't put him in front of the goal. Don't put him in front of the goal.
I've heard you lot in for him as well, Steve. But we'll chat afterwards. Fuck's sake.
I take him, me. I take
Yeah,
him.
I not like that?
Z says, did Slot refuse to play Salah in the final in the Champions League? Was he out with injury? Didn't see him.
No,
Freddie
can I
adds
just say something, right? It
Yeah.
fucking winds me up, right? When people have a go at someone like Mo Salah because he's not fucking done well in one game. They do it to Haaland all the time. Oh, where was Erling Haaland today? Wanted to play, and I feel like strangling some bastard because it's weird. Because the guy's dunked on everyone. It's Mo Salah all season, ripped everyone apart consistently for what, 5
You're only
seasons?
backing him because Haaland's the same. That's what
No,
he's doing.
one fucking trophy. Listen, I'm talking about players that perform
That's true, though,
consistently.
Toby.
This isn't a conversation for you because your players don't perform consistently. The shit. consistently. Right,
Bro,
let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying.
They've been going
Let
the
me
same
finish what
struggle,
I'm
bro.
saying.
You can't do
Let me
that.
finish what I'm saying. No, I'm making an example. So you're talking, you want to Erling Haaland score 54 goals, yeah? And because he doesn't score in one game, you want to say he's shit. You think that's
No, but
normal?
it's across so many games. He scored one non-penalty goal. That was it. Haaland in finals. That's
Right,
bad.
the
We
final,
talk about
he
that.
scored 54 goals and Man City won the treble. So, would you rather he score one in the final?
Don't call it out. If he's saying that he
No,
was,
hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. This is how. This is, no. Let me
big
speak.
game
Let me speak.
moments.
Let me speak.
Big game
Let me
moments.
speak.
This guy should
Let
deliver.
me speak,
I
right?
know.
Let me speak. So, by your logic, yeah, you'd rather Erling Haaland score in 3 finals,
Didn't
right?
say that. Didn't say
No,
that.
no, so hold on a minute. So if he scores in 3 finals and we lose all 3 finals, that's okay. But if he
No, it's
scores
not
54 goals and we win the treble, that's not good because he didn't score in a
No,
final.
but if he's saying that Salah is Ballon d'Or level These guys step up in the big moments, in the big finals. They step up and deliver. So if they're having that energy, and people are saying Salah should be winning Ballon d'Or, these guys should score in these finals. What's wrong about that?
No. So you're listen. How old are you? Fucking hell, you're a grown man. You're talking like you're fucking 9-year-old.
It's facts, though.
So you're just dismissing what the guy does regular on a regular basis. You just because it's harmless football banter. So I'd rather Mo Salah not score in a final but continue doing what he's doing and getting Liverpool trophies than scoring in a final. That is pathetic from you.
I mean, you come out here saying, how can anyone chat rubbish about Salah? Of course,
because you're probably the type of person that would Zinedine Zidane would play a full season, Real Madrid would win everything, because he didn't score in the Champions League finally. Shit.
We can discuss it. I've said so many occasions, I said it today, without going to extreme measures, saying Salah's a flop, Salah's this, that, and the other, Salah's not world class. We can discuss and debate why Salah hasn't scored enough big game moments in finals. We can discuss that.
So he's not. So because he didn't score in the final, he's not world class.
Bigger standards.
He's not world class. So Mo Salah's not world class because he don't score in the final.
I think what SAEED is saying is
Mo Salah is world class.
I think what SAEED is saying. I think he is. For me, he should still be in contention for Ballon d'Or. I do believe that. But I think SAEED's point is there are certain conversations, certain realms that Salah's put in, and when you're put in those realms, every single player is a world class player. Every single player has scored X number of goals.
But you can't judge a player on finals.
Judge him on finals.
You can't judge a player on finals. So if Mo Salah plays mint in 34 games in the Premier League season and they win the Premier League, but he doesn't play well in the FA Cup final, all of a sudden it's a problem.
FA Cup final, Carabao Cup final. Yeah, there's been so many finals. We're talking about he's literally had one Premier League penalty goal in the Champions League. Apart from that, in every other final, he has not performed. We can talk about and discuss that. Why can't we?
He stumped the gaff out, or he's just having a game where
has he not?
I mean, Harry Kane gets pelters for this.
He's not scored. This is what they're saying. He's not scored.
Harry Kane gets pelters for this.
You can perform without scoring. You can perform without scoring.
But has he? But the thing is, Steve, has he performed in a final he's played in? That's the question. SAEED.
I'm not going to get involved because I agree, man. He doesn't deserve anything or Ballon d'Or levels of conversation. I'm not putting him in those conversations. But, in terms of performance, he gave one of the best performances I've seen in the Champions League final where Courtois saved everything that was saved at him.
Yeah, that one,
Salah was brilliant in that Champions League final. But Courtois had a possessed game and you lot all saw it. So he has played. In an FA Cup final, he went off with an injury. Yeah. So there's context behind them, but it is mostly kids. And I'm not calling SAEED a kid, but
I just don't like the way
the greatest player.
I made an example of people message me every day about Haaland and say Erling Haaland doesn't perform in finals, and I was like, I don't care if he performs in finals or not. We won the treble. So what?
Look, until Messi, until Messi drops.
I'm just telling you what people say to me in my DMs. That's what I was saying. People say Haaland stinks out the gaff, and then I go, he's just scored 54 goals. And they go, yeah, but he didn't score in the Champions League final. I'm like, what? What fucking planet are you on? No one's not going to accept 54 goals. It's weird.
Sell him, man. Fuck it.
Both things can be true. I think Steve's saying that he doesn't deserve all the criticism for one game, and SAEED's saying those games matter in terms of getting to the Ballon d'Or, where that's a different conversation.
But TURKISH wasn't the same conversation, and I'm sure it infuriated you as well.
I was waiting for someone to think that. Yeah, I get 100%.
Henry won. Like, how can you?
But the difference is there are multiple finals where you can see Henry putting the team on his back, performing out of his skin. The difference is with most
Euro 2000 finals, Henry was man of the match.
Do you know what strikers? Let me land. Do you know the combination of other strikers, how long they haven't scored or assisted? Or the tally of Nunez, Diaz, all the others. Salah's pretty much single-handedly put us or wrapped up the title in March. Single-handedly.
He scored
he's done it before as well. So look, but whatever. I said, you know what I mean, Ballon d'Or levels. I've never put him in any conversations or whatever. It is where it is, man.
There should be way more attention on Jota, Diaz, Nunez. Way more. Those three players, they're expensive. They've been spoken about as top players in the Premier League. Part of a top attack, right? And everybody was glazing Liverpool's attack. And really, the attack is one man, and that is Mohamed Salah. And Gakpo's had, a good season as well, but then he's been injured.
Which way is it, Matisse, then?
So then, for me, it's very much that way. Because if Nunes or if one of those players, step up, I'm not interested in Salah. I'm not interested in saying I'm not interested in saying Salah's crap. I'm saying if one of those guys stepped up this week, no one's talking about Salah, really. Let's be honest. If one of those three, we're not talking about one player, we're talking about three players. If one of those three players stepped up, we're not talking about Salah this week. And Salah goes up against the next team in the Champions League, and then we go again. But my thing is that people look back in football history very easily and will say, these guys, Salah can't, whatever, they can't chat to them. Everybody's top player has had bad Champions League knockout games. It's impossible for them not to have. Otherwise, you would have a lot of stars on your chest. Over their 10-year period, they have been knocked out of the Champions League 8, 9, 7 times out of those 10 years. So they must have dropped a stinker somewhere. But now, because we're talking about it today, and social media is very heavy, and all of the comps are there, and all of the VAR checks are there, and all of the clips are there, we're overdoing it now. He's had a bad week.
No. But I think
he hasn't had a good week last season or the season before when Liverpool are getting to multiple Champions League finals. I just don't think it's worth talking about when you've got Nunes, Diaz, and what's the other? Jota stinking up the gaff.
But again, you can't be the arbitrator of what's worth talking about and what isn't worth talking about, because Turkish made a very good point.
Am I right? Am I hosting?
I think Turkish's point is the best point, because it depends on which way you're looking at it, right? GRIZZ, in his fairness, hasn't put Mo Salah. He hasn't said Mo Salah is better than Henry. He hasn't said Mo Salah is better than Messi, etc., etc. But there have been conversations about Mo Salah because of the season he's having, and there have been names that he's been compared to.
Isn't it, Tobs?
But that's the point. But that's
where did you get Messi from? Where did you get Messi from?
But look,
where did he get Messi from? Where did he get Messi from?
Brother, I'm just giving an example.
Don't give that example.
Why can't I give that example?
No, because it's
man have said Mo Salah's better than Henry. Mo
But
Salah's better than your boy Hazard.
I
don't care, because I know Hazard had bad Champions League games. And he would have had the same week on Big Six that you man are giving Salah right now. So I don't care.
Wait, nobody's giving Salah anything. What are you talking about?
Do you know what happens, guys? Do you know what happens when one side? Do you know when one side goes overboard, right? What happens is you get about 5 super chats from Freddie SP. I'm giving an example of shit that he's been speaking for the last 20 minutes on his super chat. He spent about 50 kroners, whatever they're called, or DKKs, yeah? But this is what I'm saying. So the balance of the argument, so what happens is the pro Salah start making exaggerated claims. What do you mean? He's on real levels. And then you get, like, with all due respect, you're a dickhead, right, Freddie? He's talking about every half decent LFB's left back's got him in his pocket. Do you get what I mean? You get there's imbalance. So one
the
side,
extreme, just say the extreme.
There's another one bit of imbalance I want to talk about as well. There's one man on this panel. There's one man on this panel that a few months ago was singing Bruno Fernandes, get out of our club, and now he's the best fucking player in the world again. So explain that one to me. Explain that to me. We've seen the video. We've seen the video. Bruno Fernandes, get out of our club. What are you saying about Bruno Fernandes now?
Bruno's doing well right now, but I still will sell Bruno Fernandes.
You wanted him out of your club 2 months ago.
Yeah, and I still want him out of my club. So what's your point?
That's why no one's listening to any opinion you've got on Haaland or anyone or anything like that. You know what I mean? Because whatever's flavour of the month, you jump all over it, mate. You jump all over it.
Because you put Haaland in.
Bruno Fernandes, get out of our club.
Coming randomly to put Bruno Fernandes in, just because I've called it out what you've just said here now about Haaland and Salah, and we can't put them together. I've called, yes, we can, and we can talk about it. Now you're coming in your high horse, start talking about Bruno Fernandes. What does that mean?
Telling the truth? Am I telling the truth? Am I telling the truth?
Why are you rattled, man? Relax. Why are you rattled?
There's only one person rattled here, and it ain't me. I just told the truth.
You've literally got a Bruno Fernandes argument that you've made no point on. I don't rate Bruno Fernandes.
I've just made a point. There's one person on this panel that wanted Bruno Fernandes out of the club 2 months ago. Talk about it now.
And I still want him so. So what's your point?
You want the best player in your team out your club. Why?
Yes.
Why? Explain to the masses why.
I've made the stand so many times. What is that relevant?
Why did you just admit you made a mistake and you was talking shit and you regret it?
Not relevant. No. What you've done is you've just been caught out for utter nonsense of what you said about.
I've been
Haaland
caught out.
and Salah.
I've just been caught out.
You've been caught out. Trying to compare and trying to feel sorry for Haaland because he had to score goals and say, you know what, I'll get a bit of sympathy vote from GRIZZ Khan. That's what you've done.
Keep digging. Keep digging. Keep digging.
Let me make this about Steve. Because Haaland hasn't scored in finals, yeah, I'm going to back Salah.
No, you shut it over there. You shut up, Mr. Four Eyes. You shut it over there. I'm sick of him. I'm sick of him. He keeps telling us what we're saying. We're not saying what you keep saying.
You don't even know what I'm about to say.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
What is this guy doing?
Steve,
Steve,
Vinny was up for a Ballon d'Or last year, and we're ready to like fucking dress down Salah. Vinny was up for a Ballon d'Or. Let's stop pretending like the standards and the levels for Ballon d'Or is Messi, Ronaldo levels. It's not that level anymore. So yes, you can have a stinker in a week, and I'm afraid whether you like it or not, we have to move on because it's not Ronaldo, Messi, it's not the fucking standard is not there anymore. Look at the list when it comes out top 10, and you're gonna be fucking bemused. You weren't happy when Jorginho was third, was you? Who was on the list last year?
Wait, sorry. Stop telling me I wasn't happy. I've said Salah is my front runner for Ballon d'Or, so stop including my name.
But you argue with Wolves,
you're not
man.
Listening.
So why
you're not listening? It's a football show. It's about debating. You don't listen. You just go off your own.
It's an hour 20 minutes in. This is why we don't have.
Mo Salah is my contender for Ballon d'Or. I've just said that.
People have things to do.
I'm giving you a lens as to why people are being cast on Mo Salah.
You're not giving
now.
shit. You're not giving a shit.
I have given. You don't listen. You don't listen.
This is why we have such long shows.
That spunk is covering up your ears, bro.
I haven't had dinner. I haven't had dinner tonight. I haven't had dinner.
In your ears.
It's an hour and 20.
You ain't listening, brother.
Hour and 20. Haven't had dinner, right? Your girl's probably eating something.
Why is that my problem?
You want out of the fridge.
Who told you not to have dinner? Who told you not to have dinner? That's not my problem. That's your problem.
Is your girl your juice out the fridge again?
Yeah,
if your girl taking your juice out the fridge again, go check. Yeah, because the more time you spend, is the more time your fridge gonna get something taken out of your fridge. We wasted time.
I don't need to go into my fridge.
Look how many games you haven't gone through. Hour 30, and you're here arguing like this. It's embarrassing. You have no timekeeping skills. It's poor.
All right, that one done.
I just wanted to know you just argued as well.
Everyone got everything off their chest. We're good to move, yeah? I was on 44 super chats when we started. I'm on 47 now, so that's where we're at. Freddie, I mean, yours has been addressed. It hasn't been read out, but the address was very personal, so I hope you enjoyed. C says, Eddie Howe on the same amount of trophies as Arteta. Josh says, Van Dijk can never be the GOAT centre-back in Premier League all time when one good striker he goes up against, he gets humbled in a final. Terry and Rio was up against so much better strikers.
See? And SAEED put his thumb up to that. Now, I don't want to start, but go on.
I wasn't that. It was a comment in the chat.
Well, let us know when it, because like, it looks like you're...
I don't need to let you know anything.
Another kid's chat.
Another
kid's sending a super chat and use like...
I went, yeah, that's it.
No, that's different. Yeah, fair play.
Big up Anurag says Liverpool have been so worried about who gives them guard of honor, they decided to do a 90-minute guard of honor for Newcastle.
Who do you support? Because you're definitely getting. I'm definitely going to get a guard of honor from you, whoever you support.
Dale says, Toby, this is for you because you didn't trust Newcastle, you clown. Hold that and thank you, Matisse.
Held.
LBN says, isn't it insane Liverpool fans tried pushing that the Egyptian Madueke should win Europe's? And then we not get into this again, please.
This is insane work, man.
That is crazy. MCSU Solo says, Klopp the German Ranieri, Slot will be the Dutch Ranieri. They won't win another for years. All the big dogs will leave and back to top 4 you go. Would you put Eddie Howe in for manager of the year?
No.
Calm down.
Liverpool, the only fan base that talk about doing quads in Jan, then wonder why they get ripped when it doesn't happen. Even Prime City never spoke in that manner or like that. BY says, as a Liverpool fan, I know we are not getting Isak, and I don't think Arsenal will get him either. I guarantee if Sugar Daddy FC make Champions League, they will get Isak because they will pay the fee and triple the wages. Sugar Daddy FC. Credible reports on PSG being all in for Van Dijk. Here we go. Focused on the league, but this summer will be interesting for us. FSG and Co. We just have to enjoy the title to the max in May. Big up, lads. Anurag again. Talking of hot takes, since Christmas period, Tonali has actually been the best 6 in the league. Not all season. Gravenberch, Caicedo are there, but last 3 months it's been him.
That's a fair shout. You made up for the shit one
Is
that you
it?
sent it.
I would have thought Caicedo would have been there the way certain man was speaking
Man
yesterday.
wants to argue again.
Don't respond.
I'm just saying.
Thank you, Matisse.
MCFCA solo again. I don't know if Barca can afford, but Isak would cook there. They are showing interest, and this would make La Liga's title race great.
It's something wrong with this guy.
These are kids, man. I got, like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I got to play uncle, man.
Highbury Ultra says, would you rather Barcola and Ekitike Sesko for a combined 150 or Isak for 150? I rate Isak, but I would honestly rather the first option logically.
I get that.
Conversation we kind of had.
Yeah, I get that. 100% I'd go for the first option. 100%.
Yeah, I'd put Gyökeres still with a Barcola rather than
Yeah, sorry. Sesko and the Barcola. I'm not taking that over Isak, personally.
No, it's not enough. Doan says Isak is world class. He is complete and his peak is yet to come. Technical abilities are just insane. DJ says people rewriting history, saying Salah has always been just a moments guy. 32 now, people pretend he wasn't all action 2017 to 2022. He'd done his thing. Big up Kevin. All this convo is making me realize is how effed up the market is nowadays, regardless of the player's value, because Isak is top, but mad price. The game is the game now. As a Newcastle fan, big up Mark, the Saudis will have watched the Qataris fumble the Mbappe deal in Paris and ensure they get top dollar for Isak. You think? Maybe. As a City fan from Vegeta saying hot take by Isak over Haaland. Isak gets less goals, sure, but he's in a worse team. He's a better dribbler, playmaker, and he affects games more. Very different strikers, isn't it? That's the thing. Not so long ago, Haaland was smashing records, so can't forget that first season as well. Liverpool are clearly the better team, but choked on the big occasion. Similar thing happened against PSG. That one from Nabil. Mo says big teams don't value the Carabao, even having convos of scrapping it. But moments like this for Newcastle fans shows its importance to most clubs. This one's a Chelsea one. I'll save that. Vegeta again. Mo Salah with another stinker in a final. 0 MPG in finals for Pool. He didn't contribute G or A. He didn't have a good performance. The Haaland of wingers. And that's where, yeah, we come full circle back to how the argument started. Let's keep it moving. Arsenal
wingers, like make no, sorry.
It doesn't even make sense.
Sorry. My bad.
Knight says it's not on the subject, but I'll get it. And Arsenal the type to talk about bagging a dime and showing up with a 6. We all know this board talks all Swedish and no Finnish. Josh says Gyökeres will score goals. Knew when he played for us at Coventry. He is a Premier League player. Has everything you want in a striker. Come on, Josh. Coventry fan in the building. I like that.
Big up Coventry.
I like that. Gyökeres is a transitions. His all-round game is okay. He is Watkins' replacement for Villa, but he against low blocks. Mateta is better than him. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
Mateta's good, you know.
Now Mateta's
good, you know. You're saying that's Mateta's a good striker.
No, crazy,
very good striker.
It's a good striker right there, bro.
Yeah, but I know I think Mateta is a good striker, but come on,
Matisse is like,
yeah, let's not get into it. Couple ones here. Mo says Arsenal need to go for players who many think are unavailable. Example: no one thought Kvara was available in Jan. Put the money down, see what happens.
He's doing it on purpose. He has to be. He has to be doing it on purpose now.
Next one in, sorry, that one's a Man City. I'll save that. And starts. Asif says, next start sub sell video planned. Last ones were class. Out real soon. We're linking up we're linking up this week as well. Over this international break, we'll have a couple pieces dropping for you, the community, and we're also linking up to record a good few pieces of content. So that, as well as this, Riku, they're all on the list. The Mount Rushmore, I haven't forgot, it is written down. So hopefully we can get it done this week. If not this week, you know, we will definitely get it done by the end of this season, beginning of next season. So look out for it. Vibav says, ideal windows, Isak or Sesko, Zubimendi, Nico Williams, Garcia, Zinchenko, Tierney, Jorginho, Kivior out, extend Partey, surprise 10, almost comfy now, innit? I thought that situation's all sorted. So, yeah.
Who's Garcia?
And the keeper, that young keeper, Joan Garcia. Yeah, we nearly agreed a deal last year. Money. One thing I'll say about this, attackers chat Unk, I'll forever be jealous and hurt from City getting Marmoush. He is such a Liverpool player, it hurts.
I told Steve that in our WhatsApp, didn't I, the other day? I said, I hate that you got him. I hate it. He's going to be so good.
Class. Tiang says, with Salah, I think it's not about scoring in finals, it's about his performances. It's like he's not playing. Same with Haaland as well. Blaze with a question. Grizz, if Szoboszlai left for whatever, would you take Gallagher as a replacement or be content with it at least? Why or why not?
If Klopp was in charge, Gallagher, he'd do something with Gallagher, but not Slump.
Max says, an hour behind with the show, but just wanted to say there aren't many things worse in football than zonal marking on corners. Utter woke nonsense.
My brother, the best teams in the world do it. Like, yeah, but
Facts.
the best teams in the world do it, Tobs.
Don't care.
Yeah, but then it's not fact, is it? Then it's opinions. Say opinions.
It's a rapper fact.
Opinions.
It's not just a fact, it's a
I'll
rapper
say
fact.
Facts. Say opinions. Opinions.
It's a rapper fact.
KJ, Steve is bang on. Go look at Salah's numbers when we competed with the best Prem side ever. Most consistent player in the last 8 years alongside Kevin De Bruyne. This one here from Raji saying, when picking an all-time 11 Prem, are there any positions you guys consider to be 100% undisputed? Cole at left back and Salah at right wing might be the closest.
Yeah, Cole left back, Terry centre back, Henry up front.
Terry
Henry
centre
up
back
front.
is not.
Yeah, so I was going to say Terry Settlement.
Yeah. I'd say striker, left back, goalkeeper.
Yeah, Henry's undisputed. I
Yeah.
don't even know Reggie didn't include.
Striker, left back, goalkeeper. I'm with you.
Goalkeeper. What do you say? Goalkeeper as well?
Yeah, Schmeichel for me.
Okay, but
See, I'm saying
I wouldn't say.
check.
I've heard people say check, and I've heard people
But
say.
fine, yeah. But
So,
left back and striker then.
Cole and Henry is the ones I've never heard anyone really try anything different.
There's no, yeah. Cole and Henry are probably the only undisputed. So let's leave it there for now.
Yeah. SAEED, this one's from Eritrea. So if United would bring back Sancho this summer and sell Bruno, would you be happy with that?
No.
Simple question, simple answer. And Mohammed says, Big Steve, rarely agree with you, but absolutely cooking SAEED rightfully. So take my 1999. Thank you. Excellent performance. Man got the 1999 super chat for the, what was it? The Bruno Fernandes stray. Cool. We move. I think that's it. If I've missed any, they will be later on. I know there's a couple Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City there, but an hour 42 in, all we've talked about is Liverpool. But we move. I mean, Arsenal, Chelsea, I'm parking that off for goodness sake. Man United won. Listen, Chelsea dropped points, but Man City, they still remain top four. Man City 2-2 against Brighton. Exciting game, Steve. Overall for the neutral, but for you, are you worried at all about this top four stuff? Or are you feeling all right?
No, we're fortunate we got a favourable set of fixtures coming up. Not you know, you couldn't ask for a better set really, but we're just not there. It's the same as the season so far. Conceding stupid goals. Brighton should have won the game. Believer missed a sitter at the end. Giving it away. It was just disjointed. Same performance as Forest, but we scored a few goals at home. Other than that, not getting the ball into Haaland. We watched it. Doku roasting everything in his wake, but nothing at the end of it. Savinho getting in great positions in the box, shooting miles over the bar. Very, very, wasteful. And the link between the midfield and the attack's non-existent. And like you say, we were very fortunate to come away with a point. That's the only saving grace coming out the ground, was that if Baleba could finish, it's game over. You know what I mean? So Brighton are a good side, and I'm going to admit it. Anyone with any pace causes us great problems now. The football Guardiola plays with the inverted fullback and keeping hold of the ball. The way to beat it is pace. You know what I mean? If you fight Man City now toe to toe with pace, they don't like it. We don't like it. So he's got to change his system. He's got to change something. Something's got to give next season. If he starts next season with the same philosophy, thinking that we're gonna just pass our way around the park and win the league that way, I don't think it's going to happen. I think football's changed. I think it's changing. We're going to see a season. This season, you know, are people saying this season's not been the best, but I feel like football's changed a little bit. So we know what we've got to do. You know, we've got a big summer ahead, and we've just got to get in that Champions League, like you say. If we win the FA Cup, it'd be great, but Champions League's a must for the club as a whole, I think.
Yeah, Brighton. Honestly, I can't lie, man. I was watching the game and
mad, isn't it?
Bro, that chance, man. Even the one, Matoma, the other Minte coming across, just about missed it
back post. Yeah. Pedro when he hit he beat Diaz and put it past the post. They're a good side, Brighton. They know what they're doing. They look very, very organised and structured. City don't at the minute. You know, every week he's changing it. Whether it's fullbacks, 1 minute it's Kusanov's playing there, then it's Nunes playing there, then it's Rico Lewis playing there. You know, 1 minute he's starting forward and then he's dropping forward, and then Mamouche starting, then he's dropping Mamouche. I don't think he knows his best lineup, to be honest, what he's doing at the minute. But it was shit. It was just the whole fucking day was shit. The crowd was shit. The whole place turned into fucking Disneyland. Everything that I've always hated about Man United and the tourist attractions, just the fucking same. I walked in the ground. There was two dickheads with megaphones with United tops on outside the city end doing a YouTube video, trying to get reactions out of people. Just modern day football's shite, mate. It's just shit. The best part of the day was seeing them both get battered on the road, which they fully deserved. So I was happy about that. But like I say, in the ground, it was just flat shite. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like there's a big problem in football. And I think what happens is why it gets masked is because we all try and point score against each other. We all say, oh, did you see the empty seats at City? Did you see them at United? Did you see that at Arsenal? Did you see that at that? But I feel like there's a fucking global a problem in English football in the top division. I feel like these people that own the clubs are trying to take away the game from the fans. I feel like they're trying to turn it into a giant tourist attraction where they want you to go and spend £300 a game, you know, £200 in the shop and all that. You go in the ground, you stand up and sing, you're looked at like you've got free heads. You try and get an atmosphere going, people think you're a dickhead. You can't get away tickets now unless you own corporate tickets. So 25 years of loyalty, watching the club home and away. You sat there on the phone trying to get an away ticket, and fucking John down the road, who's got 2 corporate tickets, who's not got 1 ounce of loyalty in his fucking bones, just rings his account manager and gets 2 for the away game. So you go to the away game at United or Liverpool and you're thinking you're going to have a big firm of lads there getting behind the team, get the atmosphere going. It's a load of dickheads in fur coats and fucking suits sat there who've just had a meal in the gaucho and then been bussed into the ground. I just feel like, you know, football's in the fucking gutter at the minute. I just feel like it is. Them who go week in, week out will notice it. The ones that don't go maybe won't see it as much. But as far as a match day experience goes from back in the day to what it is now, it's a load of shit.
Partly why I don't have a season ticket no more. Football's changed ahead a lot.
Someone said something interesting about this, Steve, and I do think it's also a point to consider that some of these fans are being allowed to go to games because match-going fans, regular fans, are putting their tickets online for crazy prices.
Yeah,
crazy prices.
No doubt. I think that's happening.
And they're pricing other fans out of the game. Like, take it from me. There's Spurs tickets. I undersell. Some I give for free. Like, I find it quite disgusting that you're a normal ticket for a normal Cat B, Cat C game, and you're putting it online and you're putting it at a stupid price that only internationals or execs are going to be able to afford.
Yeah,
I think it's a fair point.
Toby, you're right. I think it's the actual match going fan. I think you need to have a word with Steve. But I get what you mean, like, because I seen it, I was like, 2-2. Why is there so many empty seats? I was like, what's going on?
People, do you know what? Right? Do you know what happened there? I've never seen as many people in the bar. Like, fuck it, we'll go for a beer, and I'm like, that's mental. I haven't seen that since Stuart Pearce days. But what happens is as well, they're building a new North Stand at Man City, right? So for me, if you're building more seats on the ground, you've got to offer the fans more season tickets. They've not issued any season tickets for 10 years. Yeah, you've got to watch the season tickets. They've turned around and said there's no new season tickets. So I was a future generation of kids and grandkids and your kids. If you've got a couple of kids and they now want to go to the game, how can you buy them a season ticket? How can you bring them into the football club? You're not. So they're holding 6,000 extra seats for tourists. They built a Radisson hotel behind the ground and a big fucking complex. And trying to get people in the ground early and spend money.
Why they'll spend more on match day though? That's the thing though, Steve. That's what
I'm saying. Yeah, but why the tourists? A lot of the tourist fans go to the game in England is for the atmosphere. Yeah. And there's no atmosphere now. There's no atmosphere. It's a myth. You know, you look at certain grounds on certain games, you get an atmosphere, but them days are gone now. Like you say, it's iPads and fucking people FaceTiming people all around the world and watching the game. Half and half scarf. If you wear an half and half scarf, you need fucking filling in. Or 1,000,000%. Why the fuck would you have an half and half scarf? If you want to buy one as a souvenir, put it in your fucking bag.
Depends on the game, though.
Put it in your bag.
No, it doesn't depend on the game.
Don't walk around the ground with half and half scarf. Don't be in the City end with an half Man United scarf on. Or in the Liverpool end with an half Everton scarf on.
What game SAEED qualifies for that?
For me, if they can't wear it, United, City, and Liverpool and United.
What, so Man United, Chelsea, half and half, it's all good?
Listen, I'm just looking from them to their rivalries.
Nah, man, it's not okay.
I think for me, if I'm speaking, I think it's memories to know that you've been to a game.
Yeah, but it's a souvenir scarf. Put it in your bag. Don't walk around with it on your neck because it's just fucking grim, man.
You know what I mean?
They've got the Tunnel Club at City there. They've got the Tunnel Club at City. Fucking serving them lattes in the game. What the fuck's that about? Some guy walking up the stairs with a latte.
He knows the lattes.
I'd rather drink. I'm not gonna lie. I'd rather drink a. I'd rather drink a latte during the game than a fucking Bovril. Bovrils are so disgusting. I'd rather drink a latte than a Bovril any day of the week.
I was at a derby once, and there's a guy in the City end with an half City, half United scarf. It had Pep on one end and Mourinho on the other. And someone went over to him and was like, mate, what are you doing with that? But I just feel like, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old and football's changing and maybe football's going beyond me. But to be honest, it's not where it needs to be.
Steve, it's gone. It's gone. The game, I know what you're talking about. GRIZZ will know as well. The game we knew, it's in the Championship and League 2 and League 1.
You go to City and Liverpool at Anfield. You want the away end to be 100% on point. We need to win. You get in the away end. It's the worst away end I've ever seen. There's tourists everywhere. No one gives a fuck about supporting Man City. They're there to watch Mo Salah. They're there to take pictures. They're there to listen to Liverpool sing You'll Never Walk Alone. Then you play Tottenham on a Friday night in the FA Cup, 9,000 tickets, and every fucking lunatic in Manchester that you've not seen for years is swinging off the fucking rafters, and it's the best away end you've got in years, right? Because you know why? Because the tourists don't fancy the Friday night. You know, the execs don't fancy the Friday night. They've got to take Doris down the wine bar for a fucking wine. So all the retrobates that can't get tickets, the ones who I'd rather be sat with, by the way, are there on a Friday night. And you can tell the difference. So when you go to Old Trafford in a few weeks and we want the away end bouncing, you know, United's away end's different. United's away end's the best away end around because they've got the ballot thing, but all the boys get the tickets. And United yesterday at Leicester, you seen it, didn't stop singing all game. United's away end's good, but there is the other away end, like Real Sociedad the other night at United away. There was empty seats in the United end because people have had enough. But like you said, Turkish football for a match going fan, the whole experience is just changed. And I'm not saying we want fucking shithole stadiums and that. What we're saying is every stadium, in my opinion, needs to have two ends, which is fully season ticketed with fans that go all the time. Generations of granddads, uncles, thingy that go two ends. The other ends can be corporate, hospitality, £400 trips to the Gaucho and all that. That's fine. But to keep the heritage of your football club, you need to keep the soul. And for me, the soul of many a club is ripped out. Go to Fulham. Go to Fulham and look at that place. What the fuck's that about? And it's probably Fulham fans there who've been going for years, who probably like us that love the club. But you've seen it yourself. They built a swimming pool on top of the stand. The fuck's that? You know what I mean? It's mad.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry. And Steve, as well, on a side note, you did message me before. I have pinned the link.
Yeah.
But if you want to give people a bit more information about the issue.
Yeah, sorry. There's a link in the chat. There's a Manchester City fan who's a friend of our channels and that, called Patrick. He's suffering with cancer. He's got level 4 bone cancer. It's a sad state of affairs. They're trying to raise money. There's some treatment in Turkey that can prolong his life. So people have been donating. Never a foul of doing a charity stream tomorrow. But if you have got a few pennies spare and you want to help a good cause, then please do. But yeah, it's one of them things. But I appreciate it.
Yeah, there you go. The link is pinned in the chat, people. So show love if you can, and like Steve said, never a foul. Big up Daps and them, man. They're doing a stream tomorrow to raise some funds too. So if you can, it's there. We will keep it moving. There is one super chat, I think, on the subject from TH14 saying, consider a ton of international fans spend their savings on the games. Say corporate fans as internationals are the reason you have the TV deals. What is this? The argument on the other side of things?
Yeah, I think he's trying to say that. Yeah, when, to be honest with you,
but I think football. I think football was also better without these big deals and big money. It's not just there's a lot of factors to it. So yeah, big up though for the super chat, TH.
The Premier League have caused a lot of it with the turnover based football. Your football team, your club is now under pressure to get its turnover higher to buy players because of the way the rules are structured. So gone are the days where you're going to have kids for £1 in the Carabao Cup, because you can't afford to do that now. Because if another team does £30-40 tickets, they got ahead of you in the revenue. You know what I mean? You can't have these discounted shirts anymore and stuff, because it's all about revenue. So the focus of the club, I know this for a fact because I spoke to someone at City about this, the focus of them is to how they can get the average spend of a fan up. The southern clubs have got a head start on the northern clubs because the gate receipts are higher, so the match day revenues increased. The northern clubs now are building entertainment venues. City's built the Co-op Live, City's built the hotel, City's built this entertainment. Man United's new stadium got the same thing, big entertainment complex. They want you getting at Old Trafford at 8 a.m. They want you having breakfast. They want you going in the museum. They want you shopping. They want you coming out after the game, having a Nando's with your missus and staying around Man United all day and getting 4 ton out of you, rather than turning up, buying a programme and a pie and then going home. They don't want that fan anymore.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Phasing out. I don't actually. There's one here from Adju saying Jack deserves a start. Doku is good to watch, but it's a dead end. Savio is better than Doku in my opinion, and Jack has that creativity. And we'll find Marmoush's runs.
Well, Jack's not in a good place at the minute. I think we all know that. So Pep's not having him. So there's not what we can do.
Yep, certainly. Cool. That's it on City. Brighton, Man United beat Leicester, Arsenal beat Chelsea, Tottenham lost to Fulham. Let me get these super chats in. There's 9, and we'll just whittle away and see where we're at. John says Timber was out last year with an ACL and people told me Arsenal missed no one. Start putting respect on his name. Defensively solid, silky on the ball, underrated. Yeah, I mean, if there's anything. Huh?
Toby,
yeah, Toby. Yeah.
Timber's cold. I was just winding him up, and I didn't like the fact that he was talking about him like he's this inevitable defender.
He's a netty, basically.
Yeah, he's a netty,
Clearly. Mike donating some eye drops from Matisse's eyes. He scared me with his vid. Yeah, he scared
that thumbnail.
A lot of people. John says, you've seen Arteta's win graphic after 200 games. The 5 managers ahead of him are all elite. This MFA is a bad boy striker away from greatness. Goalkeeper, defense, and center midfield solid.
God. Let me optimistic, man, Grizz, man. Come on.
No, I agree.
Hot take from Mo. La Liga has more world-class players than the Prem this season.
That's a good case, you know. I can't lie. It's a good case, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout.
Yo.
Yeah, I don't think it's
we do a stream. La Liga 11 West Premier League 11.
KJ says, Saeed, remind us how old you were when you last won a league title in Champions League.
League title 19. Champions League, I think I was about 12, 13.
Yeah, it's just how did the surgeon get put on the transplant list? Oh, I don't know. I'm saying, is it my transplant vid? I don't know. The hair vlog is out, people. If you didn't know, is your vlog?
Yeah, I've got that safe to watch later, man. I'm gonna watch that.
I've got that. Say that's on my commute to work tomorrow.
That picture, that thumbnail,
I can't wait.
Ridiculous.
I can't wait.
Shining. They're shining.
You know who you look like in that picture?
Who?
Have you seen Gangs of London?
Yeah.
You know my man whose wife and daughter.
Still, I'm not finished yet.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
this is
yeah. I know.
This is a spoiler. This is from the first season. You know who I'm talking about? What's my man's name? Oh,
I forgot his name.
Oh,
That first season was years ago now, but I know who.
Yeah, that's what you look like.
It's the fringe. It's the fringe. I go check that out though, people. Skull did magic with the edit, and yeah, a lot of interest behind it. There's a link there as well. People might laugh, but I know there's a few people need some consultation. It's a free one with that link. So yeah, go over to my channel. Slick Rick says, what's going on with Mold Palmer? Brother went from a chill guy to being on the back of a milk carton, ducking the Emirates again.
Mold. I haven't heard Mold Palmer before. Sorry.
That's crazy.
No bad player name.
Yeah, we can't talk about it. I wasn't here, so
not interested. Nathaniel says, Arsenal don't need a striker. Havertz is fine. It's the left wing and Cam. Odegaard and Martinelli don't score enough. Lookman and Kluivert and move Odegaard to 8. I should have stopped when he said Havertz is fine, Nathaniel, but I just didn't want to disrespect. But yeah, he's not fine. Ben says, Steve, 100% agree. It's becoming too commercial. The local fans are not being cared for, and all clubs are being money hungry. Last one here from Max says, I feel like having about 90 games a season doesn't help. When you've got 4 games in 10 days and you know there's another in 3, people just can't be asked turning up to a regular midweek or a 12 p.m. kickoff. Plays a part, but so do many factors, and that is the super chats, people. Like I said, I've brought out the hair vlog on my channel, but before we do wrap it up, obviously show some love to Proton VPN once again, people. It's the last review show of the month. It was the last mob of the month yesterday. Proton showed us love, showed them some love. There's a QR code on the screen. Over 8,500 servers available in over 115 countries. Protect yourself, protect your data, protect your family too. Get multiple plans. The offer's there. Scan the QR code, link in the description, link in the comment section, link in the live chat as well. Go show Proton some love, people. Last chance for this month. Make sure you scan, make sure you click. Don't just protect yourself, protect the rest around you as well, people. Why not? You know what? It'd be a nice birthday present to someone. It's my birthday tomorrow. I don't want it, by the way. But his birthday's coming up.
Oh, my man.
Big occasion, anniversary. You might be with your partner 10 years. Get them a Proton membership. Put it in a card. Trust me, thank me later. That's what I'm saying. Thank me later, show Proton some love. And obviously the individual channels as well. Steve, SAEED, GRIZZ, TOBS, Matisse. Go into the description. You'll find the channels there. One update on the prediction table. Let me bring that up now. That's how it's looking, people.
Nothing changed, no?
No, well, me and Tobs got 3 points. The rest of you got 2 points. But there was talk about a certain someone being late and the potential of this.
Don't even think.
Oh, went down.
I'm telling you now. Don't even think about it. Don't think about
4
it.
points.
I'm threatening all of you. Don't think about it. I'm not the one.
Yeah, no, man.
Don't play with me.
United let me down with that one. I was 2-0, had a correct score. Then United.
Bro, I said 2-2, Man City, Brighton, and then everyone went Man City, and I shit myself. Fuck's sake.
Don't worry, man.
Yeah, we're good.
What's Matisse saying?
Gonna wrap the title up soon. You know what I mean? And just,
Matisse, you're cheeky though, you know.
Don't worry about what I'm saying.
You can't say I'm fixing my lights. Come back and your lights ain't fixed 19 minutes late.
I couldn't fix it. I couldn't fix it.
So,
you've been at my house. You've seen the light, bro. When that thing comes off of that stand, it's long to get back up. It's a 2-person job.
Can I just ask a personal question, Matisse?
No, you
Is
can't.
that a grow? Is that a grow behind you there? You growing weed there?
You can't ask because
I need to know because there's mad like fluorescent lights and loads of fucking.
That's classified. That's classified.
You know what I mean?
That's
It's a Breaking Bad situation. You and Thuggery, yeah, pretending you're going bike riding in Copenhagen, but you've got a massive weed empire.
Hey, Matisse, that would be a real Heisenberg thing, you know. You never expect.
I'm telling you, mate. I've been thinking about it for weeks. I didn't want to say anything, but I know when you see him on the Crime Watch, him and Skull padded up in the shovel for a multi-million-pound weed empire. Oh, we're going to Copenhagen. Yeah, next minute it's Amsterdam. You know, where there's a canal. You know what I'm saying? I've sussed them out, man.
You know, Steve.
We're not talking about Man United's big win.
Fuck Man United, man.
I'm surprised you don't want to talk about Tottenham's loss. You know, and the
Fuck
fact
Tottenham too, man. Seriously, man.
Honestly, I'm with you. F Tottenham.
Talk about Romero getting bullied. Can we talk about Romero being bullied?
Romero was fine in the game. You're popping boners because Romero was pushed by.
No,
it's the truth. It's the truth. No, do you know why I say it? No, stop saying. Why would you say it? The reason why I say it is because
the way he got dashed to the floor, though.
Him and his cronies were tagging me in it yesterday. I'm just thinking, is this what you're celebrating, bro? Oh, Romero got pushed. Oh, he's better than Lisandro. He's not. How can he be better than Lisandro?
That's the way he got dashed to the floor, though, man.
Get a grip, bro.
You know,
get a grip, brother. Please, SAEED. Lock in, please. Lock in, brother. Because we've got bigger things to worry about than beefing each other because one player has been pushed.
I'm just getting, you know what I mean? I feel sorry for him now,
he needs to go.
Yeah.
It's time to go, mate. Yeah? It's time to go.
Going, man. If he was getting sacked, he would have been sacked a long time ago, man.
Brother,
there's something going on. Like
we've been saying this since end of December. And it's sickening me. I don't really have many more words to give it. Like then
you should have gummies before Tottenham games.
How is dude still in a job? Genuinely, how is dude still in a job?
Why is he arguing in every tunnel?
Yeah,
like every time we see him, he's arguing.
To be fair, some fans overdo it because they're calling him all sorts. Like,
they're calling him. Let's have a little bit.
Like they're being really abusive, but in other situations, I'm like, you're the manager and you're literally offering to fight people, bro.
Yeah, but every manager gets abused, bro. He's not the only one.
That's what I'm saying. There's two sides to it. I think there are some where like he's been called a "see you next Tuesday" and stuff, and it's like okay, come on, like that's a bit vicious. But like for the most part, you're our manager and you're literally offering yourself to fight people, bro. Like
I think he's out of his depth, man. Honestly, he's the manager of Tottenham and he can't handle just ignoring kids and people yelling insults. Like, come on, man, get a grip. It's ridiculous. Like, what do you think this is? The Premier League. Your team's sitting 15th, 14th. Yes, you're gonna get held. They're gonna hurl some abuse at you. If players were doing that, players go through way more shit. Players be on the pitch getting cussed out all the time. You don't see them going up to fans and arguing with them during the middle of the game. They just carry on. They just crack on and play. So why is he as the manager every time we have to see a clip with him arguing with someone? It's mad.
It's mad.
How's Tell the only one backing him as well? 19-year-old on loan, man.
No, Spencer's pulled him away, and that's the second time. That's the second time Spencer's pulled him away from beefing people because it happened at
imagine the manager.
Everton, yeah, it was
Everton or one of the games we lost, and they were beefing him, and Spence had to sort of like pull him away. It's mad.
That's it.
It's time to go, man. It's time to go.
It is time to go. It is. People, hit the like button. As always, show the video. Make sure you subscribe to the individual channels. The hair vlogs at Denmark vlog coming out when, Matisse?
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
Tomorrow now. So there's enough content to go around. Everyone's doing content. Show some love. Proton VPN sponsoring the show. Scan the QR code. Wait, what's this one? If Spurs got Simeone, would the panel be concerned? Spurs could never get Simeone.
You had to read that one.
Could never, ever get Simeone.
Yo,
I'd be concerned for Simeone. Yeah.
Would you take Simeone, Toby? Joke.